Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again on another action-packed, wild, crazy, insane edition of Crime and Sports. As always, and this week is no different, Jimmy, as we dip back into the brain-damaged sports.
Yeah.
You know, insanity ensues always. There'll be plenty of nickery and fuckery to go about.
Can't wait.
To spread throughout the land here. Before we get into that, just want to thank everyone for their iTunes reviews this week because, man, you guys are the best. It helps us out so much. I know we've said it 100,000 times, but it still remains just as true to this day. That is the lifeblood of the podcast, is the iTunes reviews. It's not our fault. It's iTunes and their funky algorithm. We don't do it.
Jobs did this to us.
That's it. It's Steve Jobs. Blame him. He's dead, so nobody cares. It's fine. But yes, please do that. Give us 5 stars. Just say you're following instructions, following directions. It doesn't matter. Like we said, it's iTunes and their funky algorithm and not our ego that make this necessary. If you want to be an even bigger hero, you can do that very, very easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you can make a donation there, or you can make a one-time donation over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Yes.
You can get all of your any kind of crime and sports and small-town murder needs can be met at shutupandgivememurder.com. You can get tickets to live shows. You can get merch and T-shirts and mugs and bath mats and everything all through there. There's links to everything. Even the donation is right on there.
Support us wildly throughout that website.
Yes, thank you guys so much for everything, and we have a long list of amazing producers later on that we're going to get to. It's a long list, and we can't thank you guys enough. Really, you guys have come through once again, humongous for us as always, and we have got a crazy, crazy episode we're going to get to.
Great.
We apologize for last week being off quickly before we get to that. We needed a week off to get ourselves ready for the tour.
It's ridiculous.
Might happen once in a while. It's fine. That's why we gave you an extra long episode the week before. The insanity of Jose Canseco. But this week, it's crazier, Jimmy. It's crazier.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's find the asshole of the week, shall we?
Let's do it.
This is a weird one, too. It's one of these guys. It's a very Riddick Bowie situation, which is, Riddick Bowe episode was fantastic and crazy. Yeah. And this is a very much like a Riddick Bowe type situation. It's a guy who you look at and you go, wow, he's an upstanding guy. Yeah. And he's sitting on top of the world. Right. And then he just falls apart. And then you're just like, holy shit. What? Friends, family, they're like, it's not the same guy. Like, it's one of those things. Let's get right to it with Jermain Taylor.
Okay.
Do you know who Jermain Taylor is? Okay. No. He's a boxer. Okay. And it was an amazing boxer. We'll get to it. He was an undisputed champion. He's an Olympic champion. He's an upstanding guy.
Him?
You probably heard of him and seen him. He was a middleweight boxer in the 2000s when boxing kind of took a dip, and you were into UFC, I know, at that point. So I'm not sure. Okay. But he was very, very famous because he was also in the Olympics, and you know, we have weird Olympic worship, at least in this country.
Yeah, but was he one of the ones that was fighting when that little bald fucker was fighting from the little bald fucker?
Little bald fucker? Who might that be?
I forget. Zab. Was it Zab?
Zab Judah?
Zab Judah, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same time. It's the same time period.
Okay.
Zab was in the 90s too, and then into the 2000s.
Got it.
We'll get into this here, and we'll find out exactly who he fought and when.
Great.
And find out exactly maybe how that caused the falling apart later on, we'll say, because man, did it fall apart hard. So hard. Let's talk about
why does it fall apart so hard for boxers? That's a good question.
When you mix all of the other elements, I think, of all the other athletes we talk about, where they have money and they have fame, people kiss their ass, and they get kind of this weird ego trip. Well, you can add severe brain damage to that and an aggressive nature to begin with, and then you get boxers who go down the wrong road.
I also think the boxing lifestyle is much more flash than.
Oh, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's so much more flash than a
because it's an individual thing.
Yeah,
it's every few months you come out and you have an entrance. You're a wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you come out with an entrance theme with 30 people behind you, and you have this whole thing, and you've built this whole mystique up where the guy's been training you for months, and he's been telling you you're gonna, eat this guy's heart out of his chest, and it's fucking nuts.
And then 3 months of just living and spending all that money, and partying it up.
And that's the other thing too. And you have to have a certain level of invincibility in your. You have to be somewhat of a narcissist,
unbelievable narcissist,
to be able to. It's like fighter pilots we talked about.
Sure.
They take the narcissist and they go, "Oh no, we're putting you in the flight program.
Guy we need, right?
Yeah, we need you because you're crazy and you'll get shot down and won't think you're even going down. You'll be like, no, I'm flying perfectly fine as your plane's on fire heading toward the ground.
The fucking smoke trail.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what you need at a certain point to be a boxer.
That's exactly what they're doing, and they say that too as their plane is smoking to the ground.
Yeah,
boxers are still going. I'm fine.
Boxers,
I'll turn it around.
Closing pitchers.
Dude, you have
baseball.
no engine on your plane anymore.
It's on fire, literally. It's boxers. It's closing pitchers in baseball. You have to be able to take a horrific loss and then just go, that didn't happen, and get right back out there. Because in boxing, to get knocked out's got to be. It's a big deal in front of people on television. That's
so embarrassing.
That's just the whole thing. You have to be able to get up and go, no, fuck that shit. No, no.
I'll be the other guy next time.
Yeah, it's going to work out. Obviously, that was a fluke. So it's one of those things.
Okay.
He's born Jermain Taylor all the way back on August 11th, 1978 in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Wow.
He is Mr. Arkansas.
Really?
Let me tell you something. This guy loves Arkansas. He is all about Arkansas.
Great.
And they love him. He is like kind of hometown pride. Yeah. Everyone loves him in Arkansas.
Is Bill Clinton
for a while.
Of boxing?
There's a Bill Clinton reference in here.
Fantastic.
He actually, there's some, he comes across Bill Clinton, them both
of course
being
he does.
famous Arkansas.
You can't be in Arkansas and any time from the 70s to the 90s and not come across Bill.
Especially if you were going to the Olympics from Arkansas in 2000.
Yeah,
you were right in his wheelhouse there. Let's talk about his childhood a little bit here. Taylor here, Jermain, his father abandoned the family when he was 5 years old, which is the recipe.
Fucking perfect.
And we've said it repeatedly. Yeah. Is it better for the dad to just leave right away and not have a father figure for the children, or to stick around and beat the holy shit out of anybody within arm's length of them, arm's reach? I don't know.
I'll tell you one good thing. One thing for sure is you don't stick around for a little bit and then leave.
No. Well, that's what he did here.
You can't do that.
He did here. That was his dad, Lee Taylor.
Yeah.
At least he wasn't Jermain Sr., so that's
no doubt.
That's a positive. We have one positive here. So he leaves. His wife is I don't even know how to say this. It's Carlois. Carlois?
It's for sure Carlu.
We're gonna. That's probably her name. I'm sure she's from Little Rock. Everyone goes Carlu.
The French.
We're gonna go with Carlois.
From the French Quarter.
We're gonna go with Carlois. Carlois sounds more like it, which sounds like you named your car Lois. Right. This is my car, Lois. So there's Carlois, Carlu, there's Carlois. And there's a there's a Carlois and Jermain, and three sisters that Jermain has. Tamika, Tamara, and Gussie. They were all a year apart, and then Jermain is the oldest of the group. Gussie.
Jeez.
Gussie. I hope that's not a real name.
Carla gave up after
Carla. She ran out of T names. Tamika, Tamara. Fuck, I can't think of another one. Never mind. Fuck Tammy. You're Gussie. Gussie. Take that.
That's a girl's name.
That's a girl.
That's fucked up.
That's a Gussie. I wonder what her real name was.
Gus.
This is my sister Gus. It's my other sister Henry. What kind of sister name is that?
Is going on?
What are you doing? Well, her name is Carlois, so the names are. You can't trust her to name a child. She's going by Carlois, like that's not a fucking thing. Wow. So Carlois was a nursing assistant. That's what she did for a job. Yeah. Did not make a lot of money. The family
high-paid ass wiper is what she is.
Yeah, but not high-paid. Just ass wiper.
Yeah.
Low-paid ass wiper, we'll call her. Which sounds like an insult. You ass wiper.
You're a low-paid one.
Low-paid ass wiper. It's like a weird drunk insult. So Jermain kind of had to be the I guess the father figure, the adult figure in the family, because he was the oldest. He had 3 little sisters,
and the only man,
and the only male. So it was basically keep an eye on your little sisters, make sure nobody messes with your little sisters, all that sort of thing. He kind of became the caretaker of the house. He started to do laundry and do dishes and all that shit. I mean, this is like this little kid changing diapers, didn't give a shit. So I mean, he was it's growing up fast. Right. You know what I mean? He wasn't allowed to play with his friends outside.
Didn't have time.
Well, he just wasn't allowed. It was like, well, if you go outside, then no one's here to watch your sisters, and there's this one just shit her pants.
Mac and cheese and
yeah, you got to do that stuff here. Also, there's a thing here they talk about when he was a kid, his sister fell off her bike and broke her hip. Her hip. Now, for a child to break their hip, you have to. That's
force.
That's some force. Yeah. That's some action right there. Yeah. Like you can't. It's so hard for a kid to break their fucking hip. I had a girlfriend in high school that broke her hip and pelvis, and she was in a car accident where the car slid into a telephone pole right at her hip and pelvis.
Good Christ.
And that's how it happened, with the force of car and telephone pole, not just falling off a bike.
Right. I've never heard of anybody under 80 breaking their hip without a car accident.
That's what I mean. Right. It's super strange here. So, but his mother was at work, so he had to call the paramedics and be carry his sister and take care of her.
Be a real adult.
Yeah, he had to be an adult. She ended up being in a body cast, like a full body cast.
Fuck.
He had to carry her around the house to get her from place to place because she couldn't walk.
Because they couldn't afford wheels,
and there was no. I didn't even. She was just stiff. I pictured her being like an old sitcom,
and
a complete with just like eye holes popping out and a little tiny hole to put a straw in. That's what I picture.
Some pulley system where like somebody constantly hits the pulley,
and she goes and her leg flies up in there.
She just screams.
Turn around, what? And the leg flies back into place, and it's stupid farce bullshit. The hospital sitcom. So he's carrying her around the house. When they ask him about it later on, when he's talking about it, his childhood, he says, quote, "Who hasn't had problems? Everybody's been through something. We got by, though I don't know how."
That's a hell of a way to look at your sister in a body cast.
That's just his
Everybody's got problems.
That's his whole childhood. He's like, listen, I'm not going to complain. Everybody's got problems. Who hasn't had problems?
Wow.
Like not many people have had those problems. Those are worse problems than most people have had, which is fine to acknowledge.
Sure.
You don't have to. You can be cool about it, but you don't have to act like, shit, everybody does this. That's not normal. Everybody's mom's name is Carlois. That's normal, right?
I'll bet Gussie's going, yeah, but you weren't in the body cast, asshole.
Exactly, dickhead.
That was a shit few months.
Yeah, no shit. So he's very quiet as a child also, which, I mean, he's concentrating probably. He's got a lot of shit to do.
Yeah.
I know as a parent, and you would know too, if you have like multiple things going on, you're doing some dishes and you got like food going and you got this and this one's got to be in the bath by 8 so they could be in bed by 8:30. You have all these different things going on. It makes you quieter.
Yeah.
You just you yell at you have outbursts.
Right.
Parental outbursts. What the fuck's going on in there?
Right.
And that's your outburst. But otherwise you're not talking because you're thinking.
Because you got shit to do.
You have shit to do. He didn't get to have a normal childhood because he was in the house watching his sisters while all the other kids were outside playing when he was real little here. And also he has a speech impediment when he's a child. And he's got a very bad stutter. So he's carrying his sister around the house in a body cast, stuttering left and right, not being able to go outside. It's a very kind of not a guy you would expect to be a physically kind of a dominant person. You would expect him to be more kind of into himself.
He either goes one of two ways.
Yes.
He either goes like super introvert and never talks to anybody because he's afraid to stutter and get made fun of.
That's
or
right.
You go the other way and you just beat the holy shit out of everything.
like a
because you're frustrated.
Like a shitty dad, like we talked about. He does have a father figure in his life, which is an older cousin named Tyrone Hinton.
Yeah.
And he'll come up repeatedly from now until the end of the episode.
Till
the very end of the episode. He'll what a roller coaster of a relationship these two have here. This Hinton said that he played a father figure role for Jermain, for starting pretty much right after the dad abandoned the family. He said this guy, Tyrone, his uncle, or cousin, also came up on the streets of West Little Rock, which is apparently a shithole.
It is,
and it's basically the gang, the Bangin' in Little Rock HBO special. is like lived out in real life with these guys.
Perfect.
So it's interesting. He said, this is this guy talking about how he helped Jermain. First of all, he's going, look, I helped him. I played a father figure. I even helped him get initiated into the Bloods. He's like,
perfect.
I'm a father figure. I'm a role model, damn it.
I've done everything I can.
I've done everything. I got him into the Bloods. Right. What else do you want from me? I mean, what, speech therapy? No, I'm not doing that. No, of course not. I got him into the Bloods. I figured that would...
Have Pookie help you with your therapy.
yeah, no shit. Taylor's nickname was TJ on the street, apparently. And basically from 5 years old, he kind of knew the way of the street through his cousin, but wasn't allowed on the street because he couldn't leave the fucking house.
Right.
So once he got into his teenage years, it got a little bit different.
Gotcha.
But he always had a little bit of a fighting spirit in him, even when he was carrying a sister around stuttering. His cousin Tyrone said, quote, I made him fight when he was 5 years old. I made all his cousins put their hands up and fight each other. And he's saying this bragging. His big brags are, I got him into the Bloods, and I made all the 5-year-olds fight each other. That's this guy's.
I started Baby Fight Club.
Yeah.
And I got him a nickname. That's
I got him a nickname and a possible future gunshot wound. Yay.
I got him a future rap sheet.
But now he knows how to do really cool signals with his hands, so it's awesome. He can spell shit out with just a couple of hand signals. It's pretty impressive. I will say that shit here. But the boxing part of it paid off.
Yeah.
So out of everything here, teaching these children to fight gave this guy something to do in the future. I'm sure it didn't work out that well for the rest of the kids who just ended up having brain damage. But he went on to have a different kind of brain damage. At least he was paid for his brain damage, which is better.
He was compensated.
That's what you want. You got to be compensated for your brain damage. He began actually going to a boxing gym at age 13. His cousin began training at the gym with a guy named Ozell Nelson. So Taylor would come along. Jermain would kind of come along and see what the gym was all about, kind of check it out. Nelson, who was the trainer there, said, quote, he didn't show me no special deal. He was just another kid. So he's like, he wasn't shit. He was a stuttery little skinny fucker, and I didn't see shit in him, is what he said,
basically.
He didn't
show me no special deal.
He didn't show me no special deal. Yeah. That sounds like some Arkansas shit right there. Yeah. No special deal. It's just another kid to me. I don't give a fuck about these little bastards. I don't know shit about nothing. Now, the problem with this is, he was interested in fighting. He wanted to box. He thought this was cool. Carlois not into it at all.
Oh, I'm sure.
Overprotective just protective of her son, and she has 3 daughters and a son. So she's
You're
kind of
the only dude in here that knows how to operate a hammer and nails. No,
exactly. That knows how to operate. Teach Gussie. I think she'll be good at it. I have a feeling. So this Ozell Nelson says, quote, his mother did not want him to box. Jermain kept bugging me to talk to her, but his mother told me in a real firm manner that, quote, there's no way my son is going to get brain dead, which is a great. At least awesome. Carlois gives a shit. She gives a shit. No way my son's going to get brain dead. Right. But I got a shift to go to right now. He's carrying a crippled sister around. We got fucking problems. He doesn't need to be punched in the face. That's not going to help here. Apparently for 6 months, he would just nag his mother, please let me box, please let me box. She kept saying no. One day, the trainer Nelson passed the Taylor house as he was doing his he was picking up the kids who were too young to drive to come to the gym. So he'd go to these neighborhoods.
That's nice.
He'd have 6 kids that were going to the gym. He'd pick them all up, take them to the gym. So he's passing through the neighborhood, and he says, quote, the family was outside raking leaves. I shot the gas because I didn't want Carlois to think I was trying to pick up her son, but she ran out and flagged me down. So he's like, oh shit, now she thinks, he thinks that she's pissed at him. Yeah. He says, as soon as she ran out in the street, he said the first thing, I'm not after your son, is what he said to her. Like, hey, I'll fucking chill out. Right. She said, quote, take him. He's all yours. Do with him what you want. So she was like,
Carlois had enough.
I am tired of this shit. He was cutting up. He's acting a fool. I made him pick a switch and it still didn't help. That's
I'm done wiping asses. Make money.
God damn it. I tried to give him Southern justice and it didn't work. So it didn't work at all. So Carlois here, she's finally okay with it. And so Jermain, this is right around when he turns 14. He gets in the ring with Nelson's son, who is a year older. than Jermain, and he beat the shit out of Jermain pretty good in his first official.
Jermain doesn't know how.
Yeah, he did. He didn't know how yet, and that's what the point of it was. He was showing him you don't know how. That was the thing. Like, you need to train, or otherwise you're just going to get beat up by people.
This is going to happen every single time.
Yeah, it was the trainer's son, so he's like, see, he knows how to do this. Right. Therefore, he beat the shit out of you, and you didn't. So he said that Ozell, the trainer, said, quote, "Don't feel bad. Stay with me 6 months, and I guarantee you'll beat Lendrick, who's his son."
Wow.
So he's told him that.
With a guarantee.
With a guarantee that he's going to, I guarantee you I'll teach you to kick my kid's ass, which is boxing's such a weird thing.
It's a weird way to promise somebody something.
Train this other child so he can beat my child up.
How does that make you feel as a son to be standing there and your dad's like,
"Oh, you'll kick his ass.
I'm gonna teach you to knock the fuck out of my boy."
Look at this punk motherfucker. Check him out. Skinny arm motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. You're going to beat his ass good.
That's fantastic.
He's a pussy. I told his mom he's a pussy since he's a baby. I said that he's crying in his crib. I said he's a pussy. Listen to him crying. He's never going to be shit. Going to get his ass whooped when he's 14.
Right. One day I'm gonna train a boy to kick the shit out of that kid.
That's right. I'm going to try. I'm going to pick him out.
Waking me up at 2 a.m. I'll show you.
Train him. 6 months is all I need. And I'll have him whooping my son's
15 years,
ass.
boy. I'm gonna make a boy whip your ass.
It's on now. So it's ridiculous. So he ends up sticking with this whole thing, which is nice. Ozell Nelson, who remains one of Taylor's trainers, kind of throughout his rise. Also in Little Rock, during all this, while he's going to school, while he's boxing, he's still going to school he's still a kid,
like a kid does. Right?
Like a kid does. He's going to McClellan High School, but he is not able to graduate because of he's not at school enough because of his training and fighting. He would rather skip school and go train, which is one of those things. Not great at school, pretty good at boxing. So it was,
one or the other.
He went to the thing that was more aptitude for him, and it pays off. I mean, it really does here. He ends up earning his GED. That was one of the things the trainer made him do.
Gotcha.
Trainer told him he had to get his GED. If he wasn't going to go to school, you got to at least have something to say, I did. You can't just leave it open-ended. I think it was one of those things they said to kind of just teach him to finish shit, whether it was in some way, shape, or form, put a bow on it, basically, is what they were trying to do here. Now, through this whole thing, it pays off because he was born in 1978, so he should have graduated in 1996. Instead of graduating, he was winning amateur tournaments and that sort of thing. He had he won the 1996 under 19-year-old championship.
Great.
So instead of graduating, he did that. So it's that was his kind of college, I guess you could say.
Pretty sweet gig.
It's pretty sweet gig, except for the brain damage. There's not a lot of college courses that take you on a brain damage level, but that's okay here.
He's probably got the same equivalent understanding of history as I do anyway. So,
which is true. So,
but he's also got a belt,
and he can kick people's asses, and he's got a belt, and he's famous. And we're doing an episode on him. So you know what? Maybe you took the right path after all, Jimmy.
I'm armed with dick jokes and a microphone.
You know what though? You're not being made fun of mercilessly for 2.5 hours by two dickheads with dick jokes and microphones. So you know what? We win. Yay. So Jermain goes on to win 2 Police Athletic League championships there in the late 90s, which is Police Athletic League.
Okay.
Like a lot of times in the mostly in inner cities they have Police Athletic League sports leagues, and they're sponsored by the police. And
Keep you out of trouble.
It keeps you out of trouble, and kind of
also gets you on a list so the cops know who you are.
Well, it's rather than you can either be running around the neighborhood or you're in the gym with a bunch of cops, with a bunch of dudes with flat tops and mustaches and no sideburns, cheering you on. So either way, it seemed to work out for Jermain. He didn't get in trouble, and as a teenager, when he's a blood for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
he's got a street name, yet he's winning police league championships.
It's pretty awesome.
So it's not bad. Yeah. So he wins that. He wins a national Golden Gloves title. Also,
that's good.
These are great. He's a middleweight. Is a middleweight at this point. He finishes 2nd and 3rd at the 1997 and 1998 United States championships. That year. So not bad. I mean,
2nd and 3rd.
So amateur wise, in the country, in his division, in his weight class. In 1998, he wins a bronze medal at the Goodwill Games,
My Christ.
which is now it was an international competition. So he goes from the Police Athletic League around the neighborhood to spreading now to the whole country.
Sure.
Now he's fighting the world. Now he's beating the shit out of foreigners. Good for you. Now he's beating people up and he doesn't even understand them when they're begging for mercy. So good for him. Good for you, buddy. The problem here at this point, he wins that medal, but there's a weird thing at this point here. This is messed up. After this, in around 98, his grandmother, her grandmother's name, by the way, is Gussie Robinson, so we know where that came from.
There you go.
Somehow, in all my research, I missed the fact that his grandmother's name was Gussie also. That slid right past me. But yeah, his grandmother's name was Gussie Robinson. She was murdered by her son.
Holy shit,
so
his uncle.
One of his uncles, who was a guy named Ahmed Al-Genius. Ahmed Al-Genius, A-L-Genius. He changed his name to that. Obviously, that's not his birth name.
Right.
The funny
that's
part,
his Muslim name?
That's like his Muslim name, but I don't know if Al-Genius is a Muslim name or if he just thought he was, that's like his rap name or whatever the fuck, but his original name is the farthest, most standard name ever, which makes it even better. If his original name was like, Shabazz, whatever, Shabazz Mustafa Washington or some shit, you go, all right, whatever. This guy's name, though, he got to have some balls to change it to this out of this. Like even Cassius Clay has some something to it. It's got some spark.
I like that.
It's a cool ass name, right? Then Muhammad Ali's a fucking cool ass name too.
But
is it cooler name?
Is it cooler than Cassius Clay?
I'm not sure. Cassius Clay sounds like a bad motherfucker.
That's fucking cool.
That sounds like a dude you wouldn't want to fight. Like Cassius Clay is gonna fuck you up. Be like, oh shit, Cassius Clay's fucking me up.
I wish I would have thought about that. I would have named my kid Cassius Clay Wisman. That's fucking cool.
Cassius Clay Wisman.
That is so fucking cool.
That's really cool, and it would look like hilarious as your tiny little white son swam up and down the swimming pool. Cassius Clay Wisman in the right lane. Be like, Cassius Clay Wisman.
What the fuck?
This guy has some balls changing his name to Ahmad Al-Genius because his original birth name is Joe Samuel Brown, which has no flair whatsoever to it. This guy had
the most fucking boring name on earth.
His name is Joe Brown.
That's why. That's why he changed it.
That's basically John Doe. That's Black John Doe. Joe Brown. We have a John Doe and a Joe Brown. We found in a river.
Joe Brown is the Black John Doe.
That's what it is. I'm saying it's totally that. That's the equivalent of it.
That's hysterical.
It's the absolute equivalent of it.
I wish cops would do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. John Doe and a Joe Brown. That's perfect. I don't know. It's the Black John Doe.
I want every goddamn corner in this country to pick a name like white people is John Doe.
John Doe. I picture like Lenny Briscoe from Law and Order. I picture like Jerry Orbach with like that's like a John Doe, like an older white man, just an older white guy that you found dead on the street.
Right.
Whereas a Joe Brown, that's a black dude. I feel like. I don't know, maybe because it's just because Brown is in there, but I don't think so. I think just because Judge Joe Brown, maybe that's in my head.
Maybe that's
possibly.
But it's
he's
just
like an old, he's like one of those.
But I guarantee you, look in any phone book in any city,
there's a shitload of Joe Browns. Yeah, a lot of them,
and probably 70% of them are black.
Probably,
guys.
Yeah, I would assume so. Probably black guys.
It's amazing.
It's interesting. Well, so Samuel Brown, Joe Brown here. John Doe Black.
John Doe.
Black John Doe. That sounds like an action movie, doesn't it? Black John Doe. Coming to theaters.
Oh, fuck.
They killed his family. They took his identity. Now he's Black John Doe, and he's out for revenge.
Where you at, motherfuckers?
Where you at, motherfuckers? And they show him kicking down doors, having like a real Liam Neeson revenge fantasy, coming in, kicking doors down with guns in his hand. And shit.
His catchphrase is "Where you at, motherfucker?"
Where you at, motherfucker? So his grandmother's killed by his uncle, which is a weird thing, I would say here. Joe Brown had just been released from prison after serving time for aggravated robbery and battery.
Yeah.
So he was having issues. and then he killed his mother.
He's a bad dude, and to cap it off, killed the most important person that's supposed to be in your life.
I feel like that's an escalation. When you go from aggravated this, aggravated that, to I'm going to kill my mom.
Fuck it.
I'm killing a woman named Gussie.
Right.
I'm killing an elderly woman. You know how many doilies Gussie has in her house? Her fucking house is half doilies.
Yeah.
It's just all She doesn't even have a couch. It's just doilies stacked on top of each other like cats in that one episode. It's the same thing. So at the funeral, Jermain was there, and he actually put the bronze medal in his grandmother's coffin from the Goodwill Games.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice, and it was stolen by orderlies, obviously.
Oh,
and,
I thought you were going to say Joe Brown.
I'm sure sold on eBay years later.
That's fucked up.
I don't know if that happened.
Oh, okay.
Usually, I just assume whatever you put in a coffin, someone's going to steal. I
don't think it's still in there.
No, fuck no. So somewhere, somehow, someone's got the 1998 bronze medal from the Goodwill Games out of Gussie's coffin. Jesus Christ!
Pinned to a cinder block wall in a shit fucking apartment in New York City.
You know it is too. He's like, I got that. Yeah, see that from an old lady.
Can't sell it. It's too easy traced.
I'm the champion. Right. Some guy going, I'm the champion. See, I got a medal. This says Jermain Taylor. Right. Your name is Carlos. This is not.
That's how you spell Jermain in Spanish.
It's okay. So, in 1999, he meets a woman here. He meets Erica. Now, Erica is from Wheatley, Arkansas. First thing I have to say about her, she's super tall.
Yeah,
she is a tall drink of water. This girl, she's tall, she's pretty, she's striking, she's smart. She's got a lot going for her. This Erica, and I don't know what the fuck she sees in this guy. I assume at this point, well, no, you know what? At this point, I can see what she sees in this guy because he's a young guy with a lot of ambition.
Yeah,
she's into sports. She's a basketball player. Okay. She does track and shit like that. So he's an athlete. It makes sense that they would match to this, like the same height. Too, they're both about 6 feet tall.
All right.
So it's that sort of thing here. She came up in a very square family, very good family. She's one of 7 children, this Erica, in a family in Arkansas that's religious, and together her parents were married for over 50 years.
Wow.
So that's a big thing. So she comes from a very exact opposite.
Yeah.
Of she was never. She's had no street name ever. I don't think she's ever had a street tag that she spray painted on something. I don't think she had an uncle that got her into the Bloods.
Right.
I don't think any of that shit happened to her.
Grandma's not murdered by an uncle.
Probably not. Right. Yeah, and if he was murdered by an uncle, his name would just be Joe Brown.
Right.
That's it. He wouldn't have been just out of prison for aggravated battery and kind of having a crazy situation here. She says, quote, about her family, there was always love, laughter, and support at our house. We were always playing sports and cheering for one another. And Wheatley, which is the town, is the definition of what a community should be. Many of my relatives lived there, and people kept up with what you were doing. It takes a village. That's Wheatley.
Wow.
So this is like...
What the fuck?
It takes a village, and everyone's so supportive, and we cheer each other on. Yeah. My parents married for 50 years. You can't get a more opposite fucking outcome of a life than... And it's weird because they end up in the same spot at this point. They came from completely different places, obviously.
This is so weird.
She's never carried her body cast-ridden sister around after getting...
But credit to Jermain, because how do you woo a woman like that?
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him. No, he's got confidence, and the boxing gave him confidence. He overcame his stuttering also.
There's a girl that I clearly shouldn't have. I'm going to chase her.
I'm going to chase her.
Right.
And it's funny, too. Later on, he's very articulate. He's very well-spoken, and a lot of that might come from the fact that he was a stutterer, so that made him think about his words more carefully. And when he's a very considerate, very mature. He comes across very mature when he speaks, always. He always comes across like, oh, that's a very mature young man.
Right.
Like he doesn't seem like a 21-year-old asshole, who's out there boxing.
Yeah.
A lot of times those guys just come across arrogant,
and stupid,
and
dumb
he doesn't come. He comes off very respectful, like he was trained in a good manner, which I mean Mike Tyson did too back in the day.
But he was forced to grow up as a very, very young, and a lot of times, like me, I was forced to grow up really, really young.
Yeah, me
and
too.
A lot of times I can sound like a well-spoken, smart individual.
That's true.
But other times I just don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, but I don't know what
maybe
his choices were.
Maybe he's always trying to impress people because he's from such.
Well, he's trying to
meager beginnings,
and he's trying to, as we'll see here, he's trying to get on the Olympic team.
Okay,
so he's being taught to be. This is what you need to be. How you need to act in the ring, out of the ring.
I'm on board
to be a part of it. So he's on board.
Good for him embracing it.
Yeah, he's embracing it. He's really trying to make a change.
Yeah.
When Erica was 16, this is in '99, she went to Colorado Springs to try out for the women's Olympic basketball team. And that's when she met. That's how they meet, is because he's trying.
They're both there at the Olympic.
It's kind of the Olympic training center in Colorado.
At the Broadmoor, I think it is.
They're both
Broadmoor.
there. Yeah, so they're both there. So that makes sense.
Nobody else cares, but that's
that's
why I know.
I was going to say that's Colorado Springs. It has to be. So she's. They're both. They have similar goals. I mean, they're both trying to be in the damn Olympics.
Right.
How often do you meet people who are actively trying to pursue the Olympics, just hanging out?
I knew one dude in high school
at a bar,
and it was fucking weird when I knew that he wanted to do it. He wanted to go for cycling, and he'd like show me pictures of him like on inverted walls and stuff. I'm just like, you're a fucking weird kid.
Nut. They meet. He's a up and comer, and they're both from Arkansas.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing they have in common. They're both from Arkansas. They're both athletes. They're both pursuing a high level of commitment.
Yeah.
They date on and off. They start dating on and off in '99, and it's very on and off. They have they're young kids. It comes, and it comes.
I really like you.
It comes in waves.
Right.
I mean, when you're dating when you're 17, 18, 19 years old, a lot of times that happens. You go on and off.
You just don't have that much time either when you're.
That's the other thing. She's going to school. She's trying to play ball. His
schedule's crazy.
He's boxing, training. So I could see they're not being able to spend a lot of time together. That sort of thing here. Now she plays basketball while attending. She goes to Louisiana Tech University and plays basketball there. So she does very well. She majored in English, and she enjoys analyzing poetry and writing.
This girl is so impressive.
She's a very impressive young lady, this Erica.
And maybe this is why he's well-spoken, because she's doing that kind of thing. He's learning from her.
She's probably encouraging it, I would assume. This is how you want to act, and starting from a young age, that's very possible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but he ends up making the 2000 Summer Olympic team, which is amazing. People train their whole lives to try to get a shot, and people don't come close to making the Olympics.
Sydney?
This was Sydney. Yeah, we've talked about Sydney Olympics plenty in the past. Listen to about 20 previous episodes that reference the 2000 Sydney Olympics.
That Sydney Olympics had a lot of fuck-ups in it.
A lot of fuck-ups. a lot of people trying to make it that fucked up so bad they didn't even make it. A lot of Kelly Lanes in the situation where they're killing their babies rather than going to the Olympics. He makes the 2000 Olympic teams, the Summer Olympics in Sydney. He has 4 fights. In round 1, he beats a guy from Bulgaria named Usagin. Was his first name or his last name. The referee stopped the contest in round 1 in that one, so Jermain knocked him silly good. Then he fights a McIntosh from Canada and beats him in the second round, and then he defeats a guy from Germany with fucking letters in his name that I don't recognize. They're A's with looks like shining coming off them, like little beams of light coming off the top, and there are several of those. And the last letter of the name is capitalized, which makes no fucking sense.
What are you
whatsoever.
doing, Germany?
So I don't think he's from there, but either way, Jermain beats him so good.
Last letter is capitalized.
The last letter. It is A with sparkly things shooting off of it, capital A, then lowercase a.
Yeah.
So we're now A, shooty thing, then lowercase a, T, I, capital A with things shooting off the top of it. That's not a fucking name.
That's not a name.
So that is not a name. You made that shit up. So anyway, he beats him, Jermain does, which is good because you fix your fucking name and then we'll talk about it. And then finally here in the semifinals, Jermain loses to an Ibramov from Kazakhstan, of all places. He's beaten by a relative of Borat, which is fucking amazing. His sister was the number 3 prostitute in the entire village. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Right.
You can't help the Borat thing.
It's not.
Fuck, I love Borat.
My favorite line from that is when Borat goes, "My favorite style is dog style, where men stand like this and dogs stand like
dogs. I love on the old Ali G show before the movie came out. The Borat sketches were fucking amazing.
They're great.
There's one where he goes around and hangs out with a guy who's running for Congress. Yes. And that is the greatest thing in the world. And the guy's going door to door, and Borat's like getting his back. And at the one point, he says he will crush his enemies. It's just the most funny thing. He tells him he's going to be very powerful like Stalin. And the guy goes, I don't know about Stalin now. Let's calm down. It's so funny. But anyway, so Borat beats him here in the second round, or in the fourth round.
Hilarious.
Which is funny. He's beaten by Borat. And then that movie came out, and he's like, a fucking Kazakhstan. Really? People now, they all know.
Of all countries.
God damn it.
To pick.
But he still wins a bronze medal.
Yeah.
He is a goddamn Olympic medalist, which in this country, that makes you royalty.
Yeah.
That's an automatic paycheck for you. If it's in a sport we give a fuck about.
In boxing,
we
do.
We care about boxing. That's one of them. If it's in like boxing or figure skating or one of the sports we care about. Not, if you have decathlon. What's the one where you ski and then shoot shit? Is that a decathlon?
Is that cross country?
Biathlon? I don't know what it is. Something happens where you like ski for a while and then stop and try to shoot Bigfoot or something. I don't know what why those skill combinations.
How does
together.
Hunting and
makes no sense.
Skiing match up together?
And you have to like stop, skid out with the skis, be like out of breath, drop your poles, pick up a rifle, and start shooting.
What
shit.
the fuck?
It's the weirdest.
I've never heard of that.
It's the weirdest competition.
Do they have to swim across the icy lake too? Because if they do, then I'll watch.
I think that's the Winter Olympics. Anyway, so he's an Olympic champion, or sort of an Olympic. He's got a medal. That's a champion. God damn it! As far as I'm concerned,
he fought in the final.
He's the top, one of the top 3 amateur middleweights on the planet.
Right.
He's the third best, apparently, behind Borat. So
says the Olympics.
Says the Olympics. Right. So December 14th, 2000, another person also thinks this about him. It's Lou DiBella, who's a big boxing,
of course he is,
silver-haired middle-aged white man. He is a silver-haired middle-aged white man extraordinaire of the boxing industry here, and he was with HBO too, and he was really finger fucking everything you could imagine in boxing. Yeah. He's
a commentator too,
and he does everything. He signs 6 different Olympic boxers to contracts right after the 2000 Olympics. This is in December of 2000. He does this. Olympic boxers are popular. They are. Think about all the Olympic boxers: Sugar Ray Leonard and Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali was a goddamn. I mean, you're an Olympic boxer. And you do well. People remember you. It's a big deal. He signs Ricardo Williams Jr., which I wouldn't sign him with that Jr. on there. That's a problem. He won a silver medal. He also signs bronze medalist Clarence Vinson and, of course, Jermain, and Michael Bennett and Jose Navarro. He also signs. Another guy he signs is Jerson Ravello, who is a Dominican boxer. All the others are Americans because they're more marketable. And then I'm sure the Dominican guy, they're like, he can fight. We're going to get him. I don't give a shit if anybody wants to watch him or not. He's going to whoop people's asses. The rest of them, people have already seen him on TV. Let's get him in here. So, although they're all really good, especially Jermain, he's an up-and-comer here. They appear in the KO Nation series in HBO, which they used to have this show called KO Nation.
I don't remember it.
It was this kind of docu-series, kind of a show about up-and-coming boxers it was just showing like all these new it was the way they could promote their up and come, because they would have a lot of boxing matches, so they'd say, hey, look at this guy, try to get you interested in his story, then you want to see him fight. It's like the 24/7 now, the HBO, or what is it, HBO 24/7, they do the boxing, where they stick with them, and it doesn't matter, 2 guys that don't speak English, that you don't even know what's going on, and you're like, I gotta see these 2 fight each other. Holy shit, this is interesting, man. Wow, he he grew up 3 villages over from him, and he once stole the entire bean crop from his family. We need to see this here. Like, this is going to be interesting. I wouldn't have known that backstory.
Spanish Hatfield McCoy.
Now I want to see this shit. It's on now, goddammit. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you all about First Leaf. First Leaf is an incredible wine club. It is the only online wine club that uses your reviews to make personalized wine selections matched specifically to your tastes. The only wine club tailored to you. The more wine you taste and rate, the better they customize your box based on the wines you like. The way you do that to start out is the introductory 3-pack of wine, just $5 a bottle. Get started with an introductory pack of wines that usually goes for about $20 a piece. You'll get them for just $5. We have been getting First Leaf here at my house, and I gotta tell you, it's amazing because we've been trying different kinds. My wife, Sarah, was really just into like a Pinot Noir type type of thing now. She's branching out into whites, and we're trying different types of wines, and we're having a good time with it, and you guys should try it too. You start out by answering a few quick questions about your wine drinking preferences. Their experts are constantly exploring new wines for you to taste and rate. It's fantastic. When your bottles arrive, make sure to taste them and then rate them online so they can keep giving you the selections that you want. They guarantee you'll love the wine you buy, or they'll give you your money back. So try First Leaf Club today, where buying great wine is simple. To get your 3-pack of introductory wine for only $15, go to tryfirstleaf.com/CIS. That's 3 wines for only $15 on your first order at tryfirstleaf.com/CIS. Experience First Leaf today at tryfirstleaf.com/CIS. And now back to the show. So, they're all going to appear in the KO Nation, and he has his first fight on January the 27th, 2001. It's at Madison Square Garden.
Right out of the gate.
Hell of a place to make your pro debut.
Unbelievable.
Kind of the Mecca arena.
Everybody else fights up to that.
Yeah, everything we do, it's like he fights in like a 7-Eleven parking lot, and then he fights in like a casino, like, in the back of a casino behind the dumpsters, not in the casino, in like a shitty, like Oklahoma casino that had Sir Mix-a-Lot playing there the night before. One of those things.
We did have that.
We did have that. Yeah, it's exactly what we had right there.
Where Sir Mix-a-Lot thinks this is a great gig.
He's like, this is good.
Everybody's nostalgic, and everybody in the audience is just going, isn't this fucking hysterical?
Isn't this funny? Oh, wow, he has more than one song. I thought he only had the one song. Wonderful. In his pro debut at Madison Square Garden, he fights a white guy named Irish Chris Walsh.
That's super white.
Which sounds like the whitest boxer ever, doesn't it?
I wish you would have said a black guy named Irish Chris Walsh.
Irish Chris Walsh sounds like he comes in the ring and tries to do the thing where he's like showing off his footwork and his punches, and he trips over his own feet and falls down through the ropes and gets up and goes, no, I'm all right. It's okay. And his trainer just goes, kid's got an iron jaw. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine. He's a bit clumsy. Right. He's got an iron jaw. It's Irish Chris Walsh.
He can take a punch.
He can take a punch right in the jaw. Look at him. You don't even know. His mother drank so much when he was in the womb.
I thought you were going to talk about how many punches she could take.
No. That's another story. His father, let me tell you something about that, but that's a different story, his father and mother. But his mother, the fetal alcohol syndrome that he had as a child, it was so bad it made him strong, like a zombie, like a mutant warrior. And here he is, Irish Chris Walsh, ready to take a punch. He is a career 19-7-1 fighter. Yeah. That's his record. He's from Scranton, so I mean, all hope was dead before the bell ever rang for this fucking guy. Right away, he's fucked.
The PCP baby's going down.
He's going down here. Jermain beats him by TKO in round 4 of 4. It's a 4-round fight in the beginning here. 16 seconds into the round.
Wow.
Into round 4. Yeah. So makes sort of quick work of Irish, but a lot of times you'll see with these Olympic guys, they're not big like knockout artists when they first start their career because they're trained on this point system for so long and just get the points,
get the stamina up, and just get your points,
get your points in and hit. So a lot of times they have to learn to become knockout artists and that sort of thing. But he has a lot of fights stopped just of overwhelming. He's very technically sound, Taylor. He's very strong, really good jab. Guys with good jabs over the course of a fight, when people's defenses start to lower and things like that, a guy with a good jab will end up winning in the end. There's so many fighters like that.
Not just points, but
he'll hurt you.
That jab stings.
It stings, and it sets up bigger punches. So you're getting lazy, lowering your guard a little. He stings you with that jab. Next thing you know,
and then you get a fucking.
There's a big right hand behind it, and you didn't even notice it coming, and you're on your ass at that point.
Or a combination of 3 or 4 of those. It's. And that'll wobble your balance.
And that's what Taylor does. He's a punches and bunches kind of guy. Comes in, combinations, works off the jab, fires that jab off, and then he'll pop you 3 times off the jab. It's his whole deal, going from left to right.
It's a great strategy.
That'll
win fights.
That's a really good professional. He's a well-trained guy. April 7th, 2001 here, so a couple months later, he fights. Second fight is at the MGM Grand in Vegas.
What the fuck? How did he get so lucky?
Because he hooked up with Lou DiBella and HBO.
I guess that's a good point.
So he's right away. They're putting him on undercards of big fights. I mean, right off the bat, he gets to play like He's a comic.
Gets to play the big arena.
He gets to play all the big rooms, Jimmy. All the big rooms. This is versus Kenny. This guy's name is Kenny the Jake Stubbs.
The Jake.
The Jake is his nickname.
What?
Kenny the Jake.
What's a Jake?
Beats the shit out of me.
You're the Jake.
Kenny Stubbs doesn't sound either of those things. Kenny Stubbs sounds like Irish Chris Taylor's sparring partner, doesn't it? Like they fight
or
together.
Or a barbecue joint.
Or a barbecue joint. Kenny Stubbs. Come on into Kenny Stubbs. The finest barbecue sauce.
Best brisket you'll ever have.
Best brisket you will ever have. I'll tell you what. It's going to be wonderful. So he is the Jake is a 9-8 career fighter. He loses the last 6 fights of his career.
Oh boy.
So he started out 9-2.
Yeah.
It all looked promising, and then it went right in the shitter. And this fight was the third of his 6 career-ending losses. Right. Jermain wins by TKO at 2 minutes and 28 seconds of round 2 of 4. That makes him 2-0. Jermain.
Great.
Right after this fight, he has a child.
Oh boy.
Not with Erica.
No.
He has a child with another woman in one of their split-up periods.
Yeah.
He has a son. Jermain Jr.
You
bet your ass it's Jermain Jr. Come on, Jimmy. He's done everything right so far.
Sweet
He's got to start fucking up and breaking rules at some point, and now is the perfect time.
Had the kid, that was as if that's not a mistake enough.
Jermain Jr.
You bet.
Yep. So and then he gets back with Erica also. So he's it's an interesting personal life here. But May 8th, the very next month, a month and a day later after his last fight, he fights at the IC Light Amphitheater in Poughkeepsie. That's where I'm from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He fights Antonio Shake and Bake Baker.
My Christ.
So I would think, though, he wants that to be Antonio Shake and Baker.
Right.
I'm thinking probably.
You don't double the bake. On the
No, that's a lot of bacon.
That's too much bacon.
Too much bacon. You're going to dry it all out. Try that shit all out. He shook and baked. Shook and booked.
Shook and
booked. It's not a thing. He shaked and baked his way to a 7-13-1 career record.
That's not great.
Not terrific. His pictures, he really looks like he wants to fight, though.
Yeah.
When you see his pictures, this guy, he went all in for the photo shoot. He brought props. He's got a hat on.
That's what he did. He just hired a great headshot artist.
That's it.
It was like, all I got to do. That's very much like comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. He's got a
How
website.
How much mic cords it take to get tangled up in? That's what I want.
He's got business cards. He's got a website. Check out my YouTube channel with like 3 jokes from an open mic set with no one there.
7-13-1 is essentially an open micer.
That's an open micer. Somehow this fight goes all 4 rounds, goes the distance.
Wow.
I don't know how this guy lasted with him. Jermain wins a unanimous decision. He outclassed him the whole time, but the guy apparently had a tough chin, and he hung in there. This brings Jermain to 3-0. Next fight is on June 23rd, 2001, so the very next month.
Yeah.
Keep track of the brain damage later. And this is another guy where we can pinpoint certain fights that fuck them up, where they're not the same person after a long battle.
Yeah.
They'll have a war, a 12-round war with somebody, and then all of a sudden they're pulling guns on nuns in a parking lot for no reason. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing charity work yesterday. Today, he is, threatening
that person.
He's kicking the door down of adoption agencies and saying, "Give me all your records. I'm going to burn them." And they're like, "Why?" You're like, "I don't fucking know. I'm just angry." Like shit like that.
I just fought 12 rounds and I don't know my name.
I don't know.
I just pissed my pants. Give me the records.
Something. He fights Marvin Smith, another nondescript guy here. He fights Marvin Smith this day. He has an 8-7-1 career record. So, I mean, these are not your luminaries of the sport.
Yeah.
These are your tomato cans. You line up, a good trainer lines up and their manager lines up for their guy to knock out and show what they got. This guy ended his career with 4 straight losses, and this was the first of those 4.
Got it.
So this was the downhill slide.
Got it.
Jermain wins again, a unanimous decision.
My man.
Goes all 4 rounds again. Now, this is, by the way, no linkers so far.
Right.
All non-linkers so far. He is. There's a lot of non-linkers he's going to fight.
How embarrassing would it be to be a boxer that has a nickname and you're a non-linker?
You're a non-linker.
That's fucked up.
Hey, you know what? Don't be embarrassed.
You jumped the gun on your nickname, sir.
I'm a non-linker, and so are you, so it's fine.
But I don't have a nickname.
No, we have no nicknames whatsoever. Assholes, that's our nicknames.
Yeah. Jimmy the Asshole.
Jimmy the Asshole and James the Asshole doesn't quite go quite the same way. August 11th, 2001, Jermain comes in 4-0 to this fight. It's at the Alltel Arena in Little Rock.
All right.
It's a big
Back
arena
home.
down there.
Yeah.
again. This must be a big deal for him.
I'll tell. Who would it be? Like the Razorbacks?
It's probably their basketball team.
Probably.
I would imagine. I don't know what other team would.
That's why I was wondering.
I don't know who else would.
Fuck do they have?
What else could make 10,000 Arkansasians gather? What other sporting team could do that?
A pig slaughter or something?
Oh boy, it's the big pig slaughter. 11,000. It's sold out. Get your tickets early. So this night, this is a big homecoming for him. He's an Olympic champion. Yeah. We fought at Madison Square Garden and MGM, and now he gets to come home and show off.
Walmart family reunion.
It's a Walmart family reunion, everybody.
11,000 people
in the camping aisle. Everybody be there, right by the propane
Walton
tanks.
Family.
So he fights Efrain Garcia, who is a 17-6-1 career fighter.
That's good.
That's not bad. This guy's a decent fighter. Jermain wins by TKO in the 5th round of 6 rounds. Yeah, he got stops him.
Goes
another 5. Yeah, it's a minute 25 into that. This brings Jermain to 5-0. Then November 2nd, 2001. This is at the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Connecticut.
Christ.
All these big venues.
He's getting the good ones.
No 7-Eleven parking lots. No.
So this means you would assume that this is good paychecks too.
Decent, yeah. I mean, he's on the undercard, but still he's
good money.
He's not starving.
No.
We'll put it that way. He's not making a fortune. But he's making a couple $100,000 a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing okay.
This isn't $50 a set.
No. This is not open mic boxing. He's not doing the 7-Eleven parking lot.
Great.
He's doing major arenas with good things here.
This is the avenue you want to do if you want to fight.
You go to the Olympics. You write your ticket. If you go to the Olympics, you can totally do that. November 2nd, 2001. He's at Foxwoods, like I said. He fights Dave the Hammer Hamilton.
Oh boy.
Another very creative name. He is a 15-12-2 career fighter, so another journeyman. Jermain wins by TKO at 1:54, minute 54 seconds of round 2. Brings him to 6-0. Same month now, 3 weeks later, November 23rd, 2001. And I mean, that's only went a round and a half, but still, that's close.
It's that first round that gets you, though.
It's the
first one, you come out swinging usually. I mean, sometimes
they're feeling
rare.
each other out. You never know.
But a lot of times they come out just fucking.
He's pretty aggressive, too, as he gets, some of the fighters who had lesser fighters than him, he's pretty aggressive.
Okay.
He's like, this guy's not in my league. And you can tell he's a little more confident getting in there. Whereas he's a little more careful later on with some of the bigger fighters he fights, as we'll talk about. This is at the Roseland Ballroom in New York City. This is pretty interesting because this venue's kind of important because we've talked about it before. We've talked about a week later, actually, very often, and got really into it one time. He fights Undra White tonight, who is a 24-12 career fighter. This is his third to last fight, so he's kind of dying here. Well, his career is anyway. Jermain wins by TKO at 17 seconds into the 4th round of 6 rounds. This brings him to 7-0. None of that's interesting. The interesting part is the very next week on November 30th at the Roseland Ballroom, because this was a weekly fight cards they had there, James Butler attacked his opponent and knocked him out after the fight. Remember that?
Right.
James the Hammer Butler, who he did. He viciously, savagely attacked a guy who had no idea it was coming.
That's assault.
And it was assault. And that happened the very next week in
Broke
this
his
very
jaw?
ring. Yeah. Orbital socket. Fucked him up. I mean, he sucker punched him without his gloves on. You can't do that. Awful. March 15th, 2002. So he at least has a few months off here. He has 3-4 months off. This is the worst venue he's been in so far. It is the Creek Nation Bingo in Tulsa.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a terrible little casino, dusty off the side of the highway.
Yeah.
That's not anywhere near like where people live.
Smoke eater fans and shit like that.
Yeah, people on oxygen tanks smoking.
Oh, fuck.
Smoking through holes in their throats.
Bingo hall.
Bingo, yeah. Creek Nation Bingo in Tulsa. He fights Ron Carnell, who's a 3-7 career fighter, and belongs fighting in bingo calls in Tulsa.
That guy's in the right spot.
I would say so. This guy started his career as 3-1, looked promising, then lost his last 6 fights, and this is one of them. Jermain wins by TKO in the 3rd round at 16 seconds, bringing him to 8-0. Very next month, he gets right back into it. April 22nd, 27th, 2002 at Madison Square Garden again.
Back there.
Back. He's like, I've seen Tulsa, and I'm happy to be back here. Let me tell you. He fights Joe Garcia, who is a 21-7-5 career fighter. He TKOs Garcia in round 6 of 8. So He's cruising. He's 9-0 now, and as you can see here, he's having not a lot of trouble with anybody.
Okay.
June 15th, 2002, at the Mikosuke Resort and Gaming in Miami, Florida.
Yes, that's exactly where I assumed it would be.
Of course,
Mikosuke.
Mikosuke is what it's called here. Mikosuke. I think it's Mikosuke.
Yeah, it's probably Mikosuke.
What it is here. He fights Grady Bad Boy Brewer. He's a linker.
All right.
Hey, link. That's his first linker.
Finally, somebody with a nickname gets a link.
Finally, someone I didn't have to thoroughly investigate to find out who the fuck he was and how many times he's fought.
Archives of boxing
Jesus
history.
Christ. Grady Brewer. That sounds like
It's awful.
It sounds like his nickname should be Dinty Moore. Grady Dinty Moore Brewer.
Grady Beef Stew.
Dinty Moore Brewer in the corner. He's wearing like a homeless man's overcoat that he takes off instead of a robe. He fights other hobos down at the railroad tracks.
A puff of dust.
Yeah.
Rail car dust comes off his jacket.
Please fix his Wikipedia page to read that he's a rail yard hobo. I beg of you all. Somebody do that. Grady, also known as Dinty Moore Brewer, he's honed his fighting skills down at the tracks, fighting hobos for their bindle.
The worst stew that ever happened.
Oh man, I'll eat the shit out of that though.
Really?
Oh yeah, I don't care. I haven't had it in a long time, but I'll still eat it. I don't give a shit.
I did the eat it or wear it challenge with my daughter, and I got that. I got anchovies. I got 2 cans of dog food, and the beef stew was the one my daughter was grossed out with.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. This fighter by old Dinty Moore here is a 32-20 career fighter.
Wow.
He's a journeyman.
Yeah.
This guy knows how to fight. This fight goes all 8 rounds, as these guys kind of know how to hang in there, and these journeymen. Jermain
charged up on Dinty Moore.
He's got a stomach full of Dinty Moore. He's like, I'm going to fight him till the Dinty Moore wears off, at least, till I stop feeling it in my belly. That's when I know the fight's over, and I can go down. So this fight, like I said, all 8. This is Jermain outclassed him the whole time.
Yeah.
He was obviously a better fighter. It's a unanimous decision for Jermain. He's now 10-0. August 17th, 2002, at the Tess Arena in Atlantic City. He fights Sam Hill is his name, which every article about the fight. What in the Sam Hill?
Really?
Oh God!
How could they?
Hacky fucks. Who in the Sam Hill is this guy? What in the Sam Hill's going on? Nobody could resist it. You'd think one journalist would go, I'm not going to be the only one who's going to come up with that. I can't just keep... Someone else is going to say that.
Right.
It's like a comic who just takes the... no one's going to think of that premise before me.
Everybody... People love...
So stupid.
People love going to that... Has anybody ever said Sam Hill to you?
Yeah,
has anybody ever done that?
In the Sam Hill?
Why would you ask me that?
Stop it.
Why
Change
would you
your name.
assume
No wonder
that
why he
anybody
became a
hasn't?
boxer. He just got tired of shit. He's like, I'm going to start punching people, and I'm going to learn how to do it correctly. He is known as the punching policeman, Sam Hill.
Oh, my God.
He used to be a policeman.
Yeah.
He's a big old white dude. He's a 17-15-1 career record.
Yeah.
So he's just a big, unskilled punching bag, basically. It goes all 10 rounds, this fight.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, don't hang in there with the punching policeman for 10 rounds. And his management is disappointed about that.
Sure.
He's disappointed about that. He didn't show. He was supposed to go in there and knock this big mook on his ass, and he doesn't.
Wow.
So that's a problem. Unanimous decision for Taylor. I mean, he obviously outclasses the guy, but he never just goes in and puts him away. This brings him to 11-0.
Lou asked him several times what in the Sam Hill happened.
What in the Sam Hill's going on out there in between rounds? He's like, come on, Lou. Jesus Christ. Jermain said, quote, I didn't take him out, but I beat the heck out of him, is what he said about it. But he was disappointed because he couldn't knock out a St. Louis police officer, which you should be able to knock out if you're a professional boxer. Right. Apparently, the cops come tough in St. Louis. November 9th, 2002, at the Mountaineer Casino, Racetrack, and Resort.
Racetrack, too.
And Resort.
Yeah.
In Chester, West Virginia. They just threw everything out there. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't throw ice cream parlor on there also. What do people like? Casinos?
Right.
They like racetracks.
They
like
do.
to relax at a resort. They like ice cream. We could do that. It's so stupid. And Golden Corral.
Do we have a night lounge here, too?
Yeah,
we can
make that a bowling alley. We got bowling. Let's throw that in there. We got it all.
There's a goddamn day spa in here. Put that shit on there.
And karaoke. That'll sell it. Western.
Get the old, the old white people and Asians to mix
That's
together.
That's going to get them to bring their oxygen tanks in with their chop suey, and they're all going to get together and put something together. It's going to be beautiful.
They're going to have so much Kid Rock sung in here.
Oh, baby, they're going to give us all their money.
Every night featuring songs from Greece.
That's all it is.
Duets.
That's
fucking
all it
couples
is.
Singing Summer Love.
Couples singing.
Assholes. I hate those people. Stop doing that.
Couples singing.
Stop showing up to karaoke singing Picture from Kid Rock and Grease songs. Knock it off.
Don't sing
You're not original.
No, not at all. No. Maybe like a battle rap you should do together where you're squaring off against each other. That would be something.
Off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Don't even like pick something you know.
Do Meth vs. Chef off the Method Man Tikal album. Do
like
that
it,
one.
yeah.
You could do that together. That would be nice. So this is he fights Johnny Rivera this night. He's a 13-7-1 career record. It's kind of all these guys have the same kind of record. He's from Puerto Rico. This guy. It's the second to last fight of his career because he is knocked out or there's a TKO. The fight stopped at 2 minutes and 23 seconds of round 4 of 10. This brings Jermain to 12-0, and he keeps going. December 20th, 2002, at the Creek Nation Gaming Center in Tulsa.
That sounds racist.
It does, really. Creek Nation Gaming Center. Sounds like they're like trying to lure Indians in so they can fucking push them into shittier land. Something of that nature. He fights Keith Pretty Boy Sims, who I saw his picture, and he's not very pretty.
No,
to be honest with you.
They rarely
Shocking. Shocking. He's 25-14-1 career record. I wonder if that's like boxing has like opposite nicknames like wrestling. Wrestling had guys that were like Pretty Boy and, you know, Stunning and Ravishing. And, well, Ravishing, Rick Rude was like
big
a handsome
sexy
dude.
Was big and sexy.
Yeah, but they had
that
like...
son of a bitch in a Blockbuster video.
I saw him out.
Handsome as
he lives
fuck.
He's a Phoenix guy. Well, he's a big fucking handsome dude with like long hair and shit. He's a cool looking dude.
Motherfucker's hair is long and sweaty when he's looking for the newest releases too.
I'm talking about like beautiful Bobby Eaton back in the day, who was like this fat, lumpy Southern guy with a mullet, and he was beautiful Bobby Eaton. Great wrestler, but fucking A, not beautiful at all. Sorry, Bobby. So Keith Pretty Boy Sims is a 25-14-1 career fighter. This is a 10-round fight. Jermain gets a TKO in round 1 this time. Now we're talking. 52 seconds in.
Wow.
Not fucking around.
That's fast.
That was, I think, enough of this bullshit. This is all stemming from the Sam Hill fight where they told him you got to get more aggressive and knock people out. What in the Sam Hill are you doing, asshole? So he goes to 13-0 after that fight. January 30th, 2003 at the American Airlines Arena in Miami, which is better than the Mikosuke Gaming, whatever the shit that was. He fights Lionel Ortiz, who is a 22-9-1 career fighter. This is the last fight of his career. He lost the last 4 fights of his career.
American Airlines lost his career.
They lost my luggage in this guy's fucking career. See what happens with American Airlines? You lose it. At least they didn't start a fucking applause break while I was sleeping. Southwest, fuck you. I get that you guys want to be festive and you guys want to be fun, but when I'm sleeping and I finally fall asleep and I've been working and I haven't slept at all, and then you decide just because it's some asshole's 40th wedding anniversary, good for them and all, that we're going to have a fucking applause break on the plane that wakes me up.
Whole goddamn plane.
I woke up to applause and I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Sarah's like, it's somebody's 40th wedding anniversary. I'm like, why the fuck does that mean I have to wake up? That has nothing to do with me. I want to sleep through that shit.
I had such an easy flight.
No, I didn't. Not at all. So this is a TKO at 40 seconds of round 2. So again, he's getting more aggressive. 14-0 now.
Why does everything bad happen to you?
I have no idea. I wish I fucking knew. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't try to invite it. I try to just go along and do my best, and shit falls on my head.
I show up to Boston Logan, and I'm like, "You ready to go?" You're like, "They don't have my bag." I'm like, "Mine's right here."
It's every time. I swear to Christ, it's a fucking punching bag.
How was your flight? The entire flight was full. There was one seat empty. Right fucking next to me.
Yeah. Whereas I would get, there's only one full row, and it's mine. Everywhere else is. The flight is fucking a third full.
Everybody's comfortable except Jay.
A third full, and I have Yokozuna sitting next to me. That would be the fucking how it would work here. every goddamn
then we
time.
get here, and I go have dinner. Lovely dinner.
Yeah.
Even a listener came and had dinner with me. And I get here, and James like, worst dinner ever.
Shit dinner. Very expensive, and I end up having a street pretzel afterwards as my actual dinner. So, yeah, I can't fucking win.
Holy fuck.
So, March 31st, 2003, Jermain's life is going better than mine is at this point for him. He fights at the State House Convention Center in Little Rock, which doesn't sound wonderful. He fights Marcos the Terminator Primera.
Well, how does that fucking work?
I don't know.
You don't get to just steal a movie title.
He did. And
I'm Jimmy the Eraser Wisman.
That's
Why
it.
are you picking shit? Are we picking Arnold
James the
Schwarzenegger?
Lawnmower Man Petrogallo. How about that? Just pick anything out of your ass. Stupid movie from the 80s.
It's great. Works out.
It works out. He fights this guy. This guy's a very interesting cat, the Terminator here. He's got some kind of swagger. He is 20, 36, and 3 career.
Holy shit.
His last 28 fights, he went 1, 26, and 1.
Why do you keep going?
Fights. Why do you fucking keep fighting? 1, 26, and 1?
That's not good.
That's not okay.
No.
That one win and that one draw must have came at just at the right time to keep his hope alive. He's like, if it doesn't work this week, I'm retiring.
Right.
And then he won. He's like, all right, 10 more weeks.
13 losses. He gets a win.
Oh my God.
Like, I'll stick it out another 13 weeks.
126 and 1. This is a TKO in round 5 at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. It is that brings Jermain to 15 and 0.
Yeah.
It's at this point he's starting to get a little more kind of fame, kind of outward fame. He's been on HBO sometimes. He appears on the cover of Everlast boxing equipment catalogs.
How about
that? Like, he's the model guy. He's up there in the front.
Yeah.
He's also going to get some GQ work later on.
Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna get some modeling work. He's like a sharp looking dude too.
Right.
He's a sharp looking guy. It becomes. People start to know who he is now. There's a big piece on him at this point. They show that he's a celebrity. They're talking about how he's got a 15-0 record and he's an Olympic hero and he's a celebrity in Arkansas. His trainer at this time, Pat Burns, says, quote, "Everybody knows him. The way Oscar De La Hoya is treated in L.A., that's the way Jermain is in Little Rock."
Wow.
So that's what it is. Yeah, he's a blood.
Yeah.
I mean, he's from the fucking hood. He's the guy. People relate to this guy and they like him. Weird thing is they spend an inordinate amount of time in this article talking about it's weird that he likes country music.
No, it's not.
It's not that weird. He's from Arkansas.
Right.
But they make a huge deal out of the fact that he loves country music. They talk about at the time his favorite is Darryl Worley at the time.
Oh, I like Darryl Worley.
Who is Have You Forgotten was his favorite song. He talks about some lyric. I don't know what the fuck he says about it. Quote, "It's a heck of a song, man. Listen to it," is what Taylor says.
Don't listen to it because it's about 9/11. That's all it's about.
Yeah, that's what they said.
It's dumb.
Lou DiBella said, quote, "He's an African-American kid who probably listens to more country western than rap. He's more of a country boy and he's proud of that." Why does that even need to be mentioned? Well, I don't understand what the
There's
fucking
a black
difference is.
rapper in country music, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they're like, it's so weird, isn't it?
It's not weird at all. Have you been to Texas, motherfucker? There's a lot of black dudes down there that love country music. Look, Darius Rucker is a country singing motherfucker.
Go. He says, quote, Burns says, quote, "It's funny. We go into a gym here, which is mostly black and Latin fighters, and Jermain has all the guys in there listening to country music. So
is it funny?
Cares? Jesus Christ.
If he shows up in the ring in cowboy boots and a cowboy hat,
that's funny.
Weird.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Well, he does make an appearance in a cowboy hat.
Does he?
It's pretty fucking funny, I will say.
That's interesting.
He does some weird shit later when he loses his fucking mind. It is hilarious.
When black guys dress in cowboy gear, though, it is fucking impressive.
It's pretty fucking funny, I gotta say.
It's hysterical.
I like that.
But it's impressive.
I like when Mexican dudes do the all-out, pointy boots with this fucking silver on them and the giant Intercontinental title belt buckle.
It's funnier with them because they're so little that you don't picture them
it's only
getting
little guys
onto
that do
a
it.
horse, right?
Because they're usually it's usually very. Right. This is coming off very racist, but we don't mean it like that. If you live in Phoenix, you know what we're talking about.
It's very unassuming Spanish
you see a guy
fellas
that's
that you
5'3",
right? You don't see him getting on a horse.
With like a big beer gut, and he's got a tight cowboy shirt on with a giant belt buckle, pants that are so tight he can't walk in, and pointy silver-tipped cowboy boots.
Right.
And back in the day, he'd be going to see the De La Hoya fight, which is the big night out for them.
You see a black guy 6 foot or bigger in cowboy shit, you're like, That's just fucking incredible,
just
dude.
Funny. That's
Good
just Karl Malone, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
Or Riddick Bowe in that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode.
It's fucking
that
impressive.
we talked about here. He talks about his next fight. It's with a guy named Nicholas Cervera. Taylor says of him, quote, he comes to fight. Cervera's got a good right to him. I'm working on staying away from him and using my jab.
Okay.
DeBella said that, quote, he's ready to turn the corner about Jermain. He's ready to get up with the top middleweights. He's fighting like a real middleweight fighter here. This is big. So this is kind of, they're saying, okay, 15-0, and now we're going to step it up. Now, that was just to get you ready. Seems like that's always
15-0 is a warm-up.
That's your warm-up. Get you going.
Good God.
Let it so you're an okay challenger that a commission will put you in a fight and that people might want to see. And
He's fought at Madison Square Garden.
Multiple times. Yeah, twice. Yeah. He's fought at MGM Grand, for Christ's sake.
Good God.
As
a warm-up, James.
As a warm-up. And this fight's going to be on HBO.
Yeah.
And Taylor says, quote, HBO, that's the king of boxing, baby. Everybody watches that. So if you look bad, you look bad.
Yeah.
I know I'm a great boxer. Saturday, I'm going to go out and try to do my best.
All right.
So he says, I'm a great boxer, but I'm going to go out and try to do my best because he knows what to say.
All
knows not to
no
be
stutter.
Oh, no stutter. He said that clear as day.
Incredible.
And every one of his interviews are clear as day.
That's
and
great.
very, very well-spoken,
He beat it.
intelligent dude. He beat it, yeah. I mean, he beat a lot of things, including people. Yeah. He'll beat more people later, as we'll talk about, both in and out of the ring.
Yeah.
May 17th, 2003 is this fight against Nicholas Cervera. It's at the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh. Cervera is a 35-5-1 career fighter. Yeesh. Not fucking around. No. Now, that's a real fighter here. This is his second to last fight, though.
Okay.
So you put him in with a bunch of tomato cans and Sam Hills and cops who are doing this shit on the side. And now you put it with a really good fighter who's in the shitter of his career, but he's still a skilled guy. So you see what this guy could do now. Jermain wins by TKO in round 4 at 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Wow.
So not bad. This brings him to 16-0, and that impressed everybody greatly.
Okay.
But he could do that. August 8th, 2003, Alltel Arena in Little Rock again. This is for a championship. This is for a goddamn belt.
Okay.
This is for the vacant WBC Continental America's middleweight title, which we all as children have just aspired to. I know I
want
did.
it.
I dreamed of it as a
Today
child.
I want it.
I want it bad.
I have no championship of anything.
No, I drew pictures of myself wearing the WBC Continental America's middleweight title.
Nuts, babe.
That's what it was, man. It's really what it was. He fights Alfredo Cuevas, who is a 26-10-1 career fighter. This fight goes all 12 rounds.
Oh my
all 12,
God.
and it's a war. I mean, they beat the shit out of each other. Jermain is the classier fighter in the whole thing. He wins by unanimous decision.
Okay.
He goes to 17-0, and now he's the champion, or a champion. There's like 4 belts.
With 0 losses.
0 losses, and he's only fought 1 linker to get there.
Wow.
And that's Dinty Moore.
Yeah.
That was the linker.
The guy with belly full of beef stew.
The belly full of beef stew fighting other hobos down by the tracks. So
For the Bindle reward.
that's what it is. It's a bindle off, man. Who's going to get the bindle?
Right. At the end of
It's
it,
Bindle Mania 2000.
at the end of it, we bindle all the bindles together, and you get one big bindle.
And the winner gets it all.
Winner takes all.
It's got like 4 cans of Dinty Moore, some pork and beans is in there. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It's the worst Price is Right grand prize ever. So
liquid diarrhea in a checkered satchel.
So a little over 2 weeks after this fight, when he's become the champ, he decides on August 25th, 2003, things are going well. Got to get married.
Okay.
Obviously. Why not? He marries
Erica?
a great girl, though. He marries Erica.
Okay.
So smart fucking move there. He married a wonderful woman here. They get married on August 25th, 2003. They will end up having 3 daughters and a son together.
Oh, boy.
And also Jermain Jr. lives with them, too.
Sure.
And she calls Jermain Jr. like her own son, and she says she calls him her bonus son. All this
that's
shit.
nice.
She treats him, she's a really great woman.
Yeah.
She ends up being a 3rd grade teacher and writes children's books and shit. We'll talk about her. She's phenomenal. His daughters are Nia, Jay, and Layla, and Tyra, and his son Jace. He's got.
You think Layla came after Ali?
Probably, I'm going to say.
Right?
Yeah. And he was like, this is some good shit. We can make this happen.
Right.
Let's make it work. November 8th, 2003 at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. So Vegas again, big fight. He fights Rogelio the Golden Warrior Martinez, which, Jesus, somebody came up with that and
the Golden Warrior,
put that on the back of a robe, and he's like, well, now it's on the back of a robe. Right. I paid for that. I got to be the Golden Warrior forever.
You're paying by the letter to get that shit stitched on.
The Golden Warrior.
That's a long nickname to pay for. That's terrible. An expensive stitching,
especially for only fighting in 19 career fights. He's a 13,
why waste the stitches?
13-5-1 career fighter. This is the last fight of his career. Jermain retires him with a TKO at 142 of round 7.
Ended his career.
Brings him to 18-0. January 9th, 2004 at the Mohegan Sun again casino. He fights Alex Rios. He is a 23-5-1 career fighter. Again, good fighter. Yeah. This is the last fight of his career.
Wow.
So now we went from the never will be's to like the has been over withs, and then we're going to get to the prime, the nows coming up here. This is a TKO at 54 seconds of round 1 for Jermain. Brings him to 19-0. So now he's starting to look like, okay, we got to get some big fights up for this guy. March 27th, 2004 at the Alltel Arena in Little Rock, he fights Alex the Technician Bunema.
Because he's actually a tech?
The Technician. He's actually just, that's what he is. He installs, installs cable systems. So they're like, I'm the technician. And they're like, I don't think that, well, I guess that fits for boxing. Too. That's fine. He's like, no. He's handing out his card. Right. He's like, DirecTV, I do very low install.
I'll wire 3 rooms for the price of 1.
You got brick walls? I'll go right through that shit. I don't care. I will get cords in your house. You will have fucking TV on my watch. God damn it. So he is from the Congo. This guy.
Holy shit.
From the actual Congo. This guy's seen some shit.
Yeah.
From the oof, man.
It's a dangerous place.
I would say so. He's a 31-10-2 career fighter. You can't hurt him.
No.
He's already dead. This fucking guy. Forget about it. This is a TKO in round 7 at 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Another victory for Jermain, bringing him to 20-0.
Great.
June 19th, 2004 at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. Which that's not wonderful.
No.
He fights Raul El Diamante Marquez, who is a linker. Raul Marquez is a linker. He's actually a good
diamond,
fighter.
Right? El Diamante is the diamond?
I think so. I don't speak Spanish, but I'm pretty sure that's what
I'm just going with Diamante. It looks like diamond.
It looks like diamond. Yeah. He's a linker, though, so woohoo! Yay, let's get all excited about that. He's 41 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw career. He's a bad motherfucker, Raul Marquez. He can fight. Jermain wins this fight when Marquez cannot come out for the 10th round. He can't come out for the 10th, can't continue, and they call it for Jermain, TKO, and that is a 21-0. Next thing,
was that a 12-round fight?
That was a 10-round. It was a 12-round fight, but
he left in the 10th.
He couldn't come out for the 10th. It went 9 whole rounds. December 4th, 2004, at the Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, he fights William Joppy, who's another linker and a really good fighter. William Joppy, he's a 40-win, 7-loss, 2 career draws here. He's a linker, also. God forbid, got to have that. This fight goes all 12 rounds.
Oh boy!
So he goes all 12 with a good fighter who's in the prime of his career, and Jermain wins a unanimous decision.
Right after a 9-round with a great fight.
Yeah, it's 6 months, but still, it's getting a little bit now, because after that's a 12-round fight. He is fighting February 19th, so he's fighting 2 months later. Yeah. He's back in the ring again at the Staples Center, though. It's a big fight. L.A. Staples Center. He's fighting one of my favorite names ever. Daniel the Haitian Sensation Edouard.
My Christ.
The Haitian Sensation. Fuck me, man. Bring back the Golden Warrior.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
And now, back to the show.
What's it like for you watching games of your son coaching?
Agonizing.
It's a family affair on Attack Each Day, the Harbaugh's podcast.
You know, I didn't know there was actual work here.
Recent guests include Rich Eisen, John Harbaugh, Judge Judy, and John Madden.
I thought one of the greatest jobs in coaching in the NFL was Jim's first year with the 49ers.
Exclusively on Podcast One Sportsnet. Get episodes every Tuesday on Podcast One and Apple Podcasts.
Great time to be a Wolverine.
So the Haitian sensation is a 23-5-2 career record before ended abruptly to a horrible bout of HIV.
Right.
That's not true at all. Jermain wins it.
Put some lesions on him.
You know how it goes. Jermain, he comes out to the ring covered in lesions. Jermain, he's just from Haiti. That doesn't mean he has AIDS. It's just jokes.
He probably does.
He has AIDS. Sorry, guys. He does. So it's a TKO. TKO in round 3 at 2 minutes and 26 seconds, bringing Jermain to 23-0. 2005 WNBA draft. That is the Women's National Basketball Association. Erica is selected in the second round of the draft by the Washington Mystics.
Great.
So good for her. She ends up playing in the WNBA.
She made it to the big time.
She made it to the bigs, man.
Which is shit.
Which is nothing. That means
she can make
$23,000 a year.
Right.
And that's one of the top paid players in the league.
And fly coach.
And fly less than coach, if that's a thing. And fly Greyhound, which isn't flying. So
what a shit league.
She will end up leaving her career pretty quickly into it, though, when she starts having kids.
Because she got a fucking waiting tables job.
Yeah, that pays a little bit more. She's got a job at the Sunglass Hut, and she's all jacked up now. She's like, I got to quit this and leave it behind.
Selling accessories.
Yeah, I sold a pair of Oakleys yesterday, so my commission check's going to be bigger than my WNBA check.
I sold 6 of those sun visor clips for your glasses.
You know how that goes, man. I'm racking it up. She would stop playing. I don't know where that came. I was in the Sunglass Hut and fucking still in there in those malls somewhere.
And they still pay better.
Oh man. So she would leave her career eventually to be to raise the kids because they have 4 kids together. Right. So July 15th, 2005, things are going amazingly well for him. Even his wife is being drafted in professional athletic associations. Everything's going well, sort of, if you want to call it that. He fights. He has a huge fight.
She's a professional sunglass salesman.
That's true. Yeah, she's
whatever.
She's putting it all in for the Sunglass Hut. This is the fight of Jermain's life. This is what it's built up to. All these fights, all the ham and eggers he fought, all the guys that in the last 3 fights of their career. To lead to this moment, he is fighting for to be the undisputed middleweight champion of the world against Bernard Hopkins. If you don't know anything about Bernard Hopkins, he's a bad dude. Great fighter.
Unbelievable.
Just imposes his will on people in the ring. Amazing fighter, and he could be a crime and sports episode also. He's one of these guys where he's got a story though, like he had a horrible time in the beginning and went to prison for a long time, and then came out and boxing was a salvation, and he did fine, and then didn't get arrested anymore. Blah blah blah.
That's a happy story.
That's a happy. It's not even like Hollywood Henderson, who did like a mountain of crazy shit and raped a paraplegic teenager, well after he forced her to smoke crack, and then won the lottery and did some charity work. That's a fucking story. Yeah. This, not so much.
That's a happy ending that I can get behind.
That I can get
this
behind.
Happy ending, no. Go fuck yourself.
That's just boring. And it's not even his fault.
Right.
He's a junior, Jimmy. I looked it up. Bernard Hopkins is a junior. So I'm like, it's not even his fault.
Son of a bitch.
That's right. I'm on top of that shit. He's a junior.
That makes sense.
So you know that. It's not even his fault. Plenty of jail time.
Yeah.
You can't shake that
it's
label.
Coming.
It's coming.
It's going to bite you.
It's going to bite you every time. This fight, Bernard Hopkins' career, 55 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws. So he's a warrior, this guy. A bad dude, and he hasn't lost in a long time at this point, and he's the undisputed champ, which doesn't happen very often where they actually get the belts together. It's for the WBA or the WBC, IBF, WBO, and the Ring titles. All these belts. He comes just adorned with ridiculous amounts of belts.
He's got to have a rack for those.
It's so well, they have like 2 on their waist, one around their chest, one on their waist, one over an arm, and then one like wrapped around their neck and their body like a bullet, like a Rambo bullet fucking
like Chewbacca.
Yeah, Chewbacca, Rambo.
Somebody should invent a backpack that's like a gun rack.
That would be good.
Carries
it carries all these belts
stretches
for
them
you.
all out.
Yeah, displays them nicely for you. This fight goes all 12 rounds, which is crazy, and it's Jermain wins by split decision. Okay. So 2 judges to 1. So one guy, he's like, listen to Bob.
Right.
What the fuck?
That's my guy.
Bob knows I won.
He said it. What's the matter with you two?
Listen, I'm just going to say this right now. Bob is, I believe, I've been observing you guys over the course of this fight. Bob is the smart one of the group. I think you should really discuss it. Right. Let Bob be the foreman of the judges and then make a decision, because I don't think I lost, if I'm being honest with you. But now he's the undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
That's awesome.
And Jermain Taylor's
he gets every one of those titles.
He gets all those titles.
That's so cool.
It doesn't always work like that. It's like if you're undisputed champ, you might fight a fight that
just
is
for one of the
only sanctioned by 2 of the belts that they say that guy's a big enough contender to be. So then you are only. It's
this
only
is for
you
everything.
can lose 2. This is everything.
Can you imagine?
And Jermain Taylor to this day is the last undisputed middleweight champion.
That's awesome.
So it doesn't happen all the time. These belts break up, and when they come together, it's kind of a special thing.
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe is an undisputed heavyweight champion. When they come together, it's a big deal in boxing. It
and
really
Jermain's
is.
the last one that did
Jermain's
it in
the last
2000
one.
what?
2005. July of 2005.
13 years, nobody's done that.
Amazing, right?
It's incredible.
He is on top of the world, obviously.
Yeah.
He's feeling good about himself, I would say. He's achieved every one of his goals.
No doubt.
He doesn't stutter anymore. He's came a long way. We'll say that. He says in a post-fight interview, in a completely non-stuttering way, quote, "I'm the new champion. I'm the new world champion, Jermain Taylor. Thank you so much for having me." Smooth as shit. And then he...
That's the guy that knows that he just whooped Bernard Hopkins' ass.
Then he stroked his Billy D. Williams mustache, pounded some Colt 45, and walked away with 3 beautiful women around his arm. He was doing fantastic.
Threw his cowboy hat back on and walked on out of here. I'll be off into the sunset now, y'all.
Have a good one. So he is feeling good.
Yeah.
Hopkins is not feeling good. Hopkins is pissed off. Yeah. Hopkins appeals the decision to the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
What?
So you can go complain. They didn't listen to Bob.
Right.
Bob said I won. But he said it. You heard. He said Bernard won. He's not Jermain.
Right.
And you didn't listen to me. He's
That's
the smart
my guy.
one. This is wrong. Bill and Dave don't like me. I heard them talking about me, and it's not fair. Give me my purse. I'm leaving.
That's so tough.
I want my belt and my purse, and I'm going home.
Why do they get to bitch about it?
He gets the smaller purse. That's a weird one. I've never heard of anyone appealing a decision.
That's bizarre.
That again sounds very wrestling.
It does.
Like it sounds. The title will be held up, and
I will be calling McMahon in the morning about this.
Fought in a tournament at WrestleMania 4. That's what happens. happens here.
So silly.
And that actually did happen. There was a tournament at WrestleMania 4 in 1988. So anyway, things are going great though for Jermain.
Yeah.
He couldn't be fucking happier about this.
Sure,
he's thrilled. They have a parade for him in Little Rock.
Yeah.
It is Jermain Taylor Day. In Little Rock. He is going down the parade route. Yeah. There's 5,500 people in the parade route to watch him go by. He's in the back of a red convertible, smiling and waving and having a good old time. He's wearing a white blazer.
That's some pimp shit.
That's some pimp. He's like, everybody
does it have
see
leather
me.
inserts on the shoulders?
You know it probably does.
Yeah.
You know it does. Even it's 101 degrees outside in Arkansas in fucking July, which sounds miserable.
Humid as fuck.
Humid, nasty,
tornado warnings.
Stinking, smelling like pig shit up in there. Fucking smelling like just a Walmart break room. Terrible. Walmart employee break room in midsummer.
Coffee and farts.
After the truck just got unloaded.
Gross.
Oh, shit, it's camping supply day. Oh, no. Oh, you know
somebody
how heavy
unload
that
these
charcoal
propane
is.
tanks.
Holy shit, they're heavy. Also, there is Arkansas First Lady Mike Huckabee's wife, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the current press secretary for the White House's mother here, who is the wife of a highly, highly conservative, ultra-Christian, super Christian governor, and she declares it to be Jermain Taylor Day throughout the land. Literally, she decrees it.
It's with a scroll
and a bugle. Jermain Taylor Day.
It is a blood members day.
That's what that's what she declared. That's why I think this is hilarious.
21st Street Bloods Day.
Yay. Jermain, you may tag the wall of your choice. That's the key to the city for him. He may tag his street name,
his street moniker,
anywhere he likes here. So this point, shit's getting out of control for him in terms of just people coming at him, wanting to throw money at him, wanting him to do things. He's the undisputed middleweight champ. He's an Olympian, and especially in Arkansas. Yeah. In Arkansas, he's the shit. I mean, he is awesome. The best thing to ever come out of Arkansas as far as anybody's concerned. Promotional appearances, he does speaking engagements, charitable organizations. Think about it. This is a guy who was a stuttering kid who wasn't allowed outside.
Right.
Is now undisputed champion doing speaking engagements.
Everybody in Arkansas wants him.
Yeah, no one would have thought that. Yeah, his business manager, a guy named Andrew Metters, said that at one point he would just have to beg people to just recognize the guy, give him a fucking local car commercial. Go, he's in the Olympics.
Right.
Tell him he can sell a Chevy.
Shit, yeah.
Come down here and knock out high prices with a glove on or some horse shit bullshit local commercial. You know how they all are. I'm here to give high prices, the old 1-2. Come on down to
Sam Hill's probably got a dealership down there by now.
Come on down to Sam Hill Chevrolet. He'd hire Jermain for
I'll
that.
I'll knock the Sam Hill out of it.
I'll knock the Sam Hill out of those prices. He holds up a fist.
Sweet Pete.
His manager Metters said, quote, "Everybody wants him now. They all think it's just them calling, but it's not just them. It's 200 or 300 of them that are calling."
Wow.
A lot of these are Arkansas things because in Arkansas he's a hero, including Bill Clinton, the former president of the United States, invited Jermain to come to his office in Harlem in August of that year after he beat Hopkins.
That's awesome.
Taylor was honored by this because he's from there, and any president, I don't give a shit. Fuck your politics, okay? I don't care whether you like Clinton or hate Clinton or like whatever. I don't give a fuck if the worst president invites you to his office. You're at least intrigued by that and a little bit honored. If Gerald Ford invites you, you're like, yeah, he didn't get elected even or anything, but fuck it, he sat in the chair for a minute. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee with the guy and see what he wants.
Jimmy Carter's peanut farming ass invites me anywhere. I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be
you'll
there.
go build a fucking Habitat for Humanity with him. Goddamn, no problem. I know you will, Jimmy. You're right there. You're going to grab a fucking hammer and everything's going to be fine. I believe in you, Jimmy. You can do it. Go hang out with Jimmy Carter. So, everybody's wanting him. Taylor about Bill Clinton after, he was very honored for this whole thing. Because Clinton was the governor forever of Arkansas, too.
When you come into Little Rock, it says, welcome to Little Rock, home of Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, too. If you grew up when this guy grew up, he was governor for his whole he was born in 78. I think he became governor in the early 80s. So as far back as he can remember, he was governor and then president. So Bill Clinton's just the guy in charge of everything always to this guy.
They should call it Clintonville or Clintonsaw or some shit.
Yeah, it's Arkansas, so it's not like there's anything that you really need to keep your name for. There's no, who cares? What are you propping up over there? Walmart? Come
There's
on.
already
what
a
are you proud
Kansas,
of?
and you guys are just confusing shit anyway.
You're confusing shit.
Right.
You can rename your college. You can still be called the Razorbacks and do your thing. We were squealing and all that shit. No one will care. It's fine.
You suey shit.
That's it. Just you know what?
Just call
Swallow
it
your pride and rename the fucking
Clinton
thing.
Land.
Clinton Land. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and say it right now because he's the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. They're literally having parades with Republican governors' wives, conservative women declaring it Jermain Taylor Day throughout the land. And presidents are inviting him over. He doesn't have enough time in the day to deal with the people who are constantly throwing money at him. Grace.
For sure.
This is like ridiculous, Grace.
This is the greatest day ever.
It's too much, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like the last 15 minutes I'm just talking shit.
Right.
Like, this is not even fucking true.
This
it's
man
silly.
was jumped into a gang.
Yeah.
And this is his life
Yeah,
now.
he's achieved every dream possible, literally.
He's hanging out with people named Pookie, Lil Snoopy, and Lil Joker.
And
now,
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
He's mixing those groups together. This is what I'm saying. Like, you can't get any more
crazy.
Grace than this.
Yeah.
Once they have a fucking Tommy Morrison style parade for you, you've reached your.
It's it.
There's nowhere to go but down from there. December 3rd, 2005. 6 months later, he has to fight Bernard Hopkins again. It's a rematch. Hopkins, if the appeal wasn't going to work, he goddamn sure he wants a rematch.
Get another fight. Then.
He doesn't think he lost the first one, so he wants another fight here. It's at Mandalay Bay on December 3rd in Vegas again. Huge fight, a lot of interest.
Of course.
This is like, when the big champ loses in a close fight like that a lot of people watched. It's one of those things too, when everything I read about it, and I've watched it too, but I like to read what fight experts have to say and that sort of thing, and everybody says the same thing. Like, I dare you to watch that fight and tell me somebody won it. It's one of those where you go, there's no way when you watch that, either one of their fights.
You can coin flip it.
You can coin flip it. It's literally, if you blinked a couple of times, you might have missed a couple punches from one guy and decided for the other guy. It's so close. It's two completely evenly matched fighters fighting. Great fight.
Leaving nothing in their pocket.
Nothing in the pocket. All on the table. This fight again goes all 12 rounds.
Jesus.
Think about this. This is we've had this repeatedly where the guys will have a couple of complete 12-round wars, and then all of a sudden they're doing the most erratic batshit nutball behavior in the world. Out of nowhere, they're holding up a yarn barn, asking for all of the fucking fat needles that you can put yarn through, the good ones. Goddamn it, I'm doing some cross stitching. Don't fuck with me. And the ladies there are very confused.
You don't even. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? He's like, I'm making a quilt, motherfucker. Right. They're like, you don't cross stitch a quilt. And he's like, don't you fucking question me.
And he's got guns 7 ladies.
It's super weird. Yeah, that's what ends up happening after this. And everyone goes, I don't get it. He's like a different guy. I don't know. When you punch his brain into fucking pudding, maybe that'll happen. But, so this fight goes all 12 rounds again. So 24 rounds in 6 months with Bernard Hopkins is, poof.
It's a bit much.
Fuck, man. And Hopkins is one of those guys, he was fighting up until very recently.
I didn't even realize that.
He couldn't understand a word he was saying. Yeah. He sounded like he, had his tongue cut out of his mouth. Right. And he's just, but he's still fighting. Yeah. So Hopkins is just, he's like a man of stone. He just keeps coming and coming and coming.
It's ridiculous.
Like the Terminator, and you have to just keep putting him down.
Clearly got bills.
He's got to have bills. Well, that's why Holyfield kept fighting until he couldn't speak anymore, is because he had
it's just so sad when
31 children and 5 bankruptcies. So,
because everything hurts, but when you touch his penis, that feels great.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Keep doing that. Yeah, exactly.
31 children later. He's like,
the one part
how
of
did this happen?
One part of me that doesn't hurt is that. I keep that protected with a big cup. Everything
and if
else
they hit
fucked
that,
up.
They lose.
They lose. Exactly. Look, we're all going to be in pain afterwards. Right. Let's keep our nutsacks out of it. Thank you. So this makes him 25-0, winning a unanimous decision here, but unanimous this time, not a split decision. Jermain wins it again. This time he can kind of tell Bernard Hopkins, it's unanimous, now shut the fuck up. Right. Even Bill's not on your
Quit
side
your
this
bitching.
time. Yeah. Even you lost Bill now, so stop bitching. It's unanimous. But once again, they're coin flip fights. It's not like Jermain can say, I beat his ass, but he can go, I did,
3 judges said so.
That's what he said. He ends up saying at the end of the fight, and this again, humble, very likable. He says, quote, I still got a lot of work to do, but I did win, and I'm taking my belts back to Little Rock, Arkansas.
All of them.
My belts. And he's covered in belts. Going back to Little Rock, Arkansas, because he is the 2005 Arkansan of the Year.
What?
Yes, the state declares him the person of the year within its confines. It is Jermain Taylor year.
Of all the family of
everybody.
The Waltons.
Think about, there are people, fuck the Waltons, there's people,
those people
who are taking in developmentally disabled children off the street and raising them as their own and spending their whole lives spoon-feeding them and wiping their asses.
Right.
This guy's the Arkansas of the year because he beat Bernard Hopkins' face in slightly better than Bernard Hopkins beat his face in. 2%. Arkansas of the year.
I feel like Bill Clinton had a lot of influence in that vote.
I think he had a vote on that one. Yeah, I think so too. The one thing that the Huckabees and the Clintons can agree on is they fucking love Jermain Taylor. It's the one thing, only thing.
The blood. The guy that's in a goddamn gang.
But love him.
Love him.
Silver-haired, middle-aged, fucking Arkansas of the year. The whole state's a silver-haired, middle-aged white man. The whole fucking state. Huckabee's wife, the whole state, the Nevada State Athletic, everybody. They're all silver-haired, middle-aged white men.
It's the state of Bill Clinton's.
Good Lord here. So he does an interview at this point, and it's kind of interesting because this is kind of a little insight into how he operates. A guy, the reporter asks him, this is a bunch of fielding. It's like a how do you describe this? Like a people calling in questions for him.
Random what? Like a Reddit
like
ask me anything?
Like an AMA, but like on the radio type of thing. I don't know what you're gonna call. I don't know what the fuck it is. That's the stupidest. That's the worst introduction. He did this thing where people asked him questions.
He did a radio ask me anything.
Pretty much a radio AMA is what he does here. Someone asked him, quote, "Do you feel like you can change the trash-talking thug image of boxing with your honest, down-to-earth approach and become a role model for today's youth?" That's what people are. So far, he's a role model. Think about it. You can go. Yeah. You can even be. You can come from shit. Mm-hmm. Carl Lewis can make you stay home.
Right.
You could be a gangbanger.
Right.
But if you work hard and you fucking overcome your stuttering and you marry a really an attractive, smart, beautiful, tall woman
after you knock up another girl that has nothing to do with this,
you can get here.
Yeah.
So he says, quote, "I can't speak for everyone. I have to be who I am. I'm not out to try and change the thug image, but sometimes when trash is being thrown at you, you have to throw it back. But it can be done in a way that it's not disrespectful."
Okay.
So he's trying to say, like, I'm not a bitch.
Right.
I'll talk some shit. Right. I ain't going to take it, but I'm going to do it in a classy way.
When you wrap it all up and you say, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. Problem is, when you're Arkansan of the year, you represent everyone in the state. All of us. All of the Arkansans out there. So you really must do it differently. June 17th, 2006, he's got to go fight again 6 months later. Jesus. So this has been a whirlwind year for him. Yeah. Just 2 Hopkins fights, and now he's going to fight another damn good fighter. Yeah. This is... Whenever they get into these fights, man, this is when damage starts to happen. He fights at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, June 17, 2006. He fights the entire FedEx Forum.
I see him fighting it like a bonus round in Street Fighter.
That's what
you got to beat a car.
We got to beat all the FedEx employees who have had a forum to decide how to better deliver packages after they kick your ass. So he fights Ronald Winky Wright, and Winky Wright's a bad dude, and we talked about Winky Wright too. Somebody was I think it was Henderson, Thomas Hollywood Henderson was in like a foursome with him golfing at one point or something with Winky Wright. Winky Wright's a great fighter. 51 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw for Winky in his career. So he's a great fighter, Winky. This fight again goes the distance.
Jesus
12 rounds. So 36 rounds of hardcore not
real boxing,
not dancing, not fighting a cream puff and being lazy. Battles, brawls with this. It's a draw. That's how tough of a fight this is.
Good God.
Completely even. So that is...
For all the belts, and it went a draw.
A draw. Oh. It's a goddamn draw. Last non-loss of career for Winky Wright.
Really?
This is Winky Wright loses every fight now for the next couple fights after this.
Like a curse.
It's a war.
Curse of a draw.
He was at the end of his career, and you have a big fight like this at the end of your career, it'll damage you, man, and you're never the same fighter again. I can't tell you. There's a list a mile long of guys who were great, had one fight that changed them.
Yeah.
12
Gets
rounds.
in your head.
It not only gets in your head, it fucks up your head.
Yeah.
12 rounds of sustained beating at one time, that can change your life.
Change the ripples in your brain.
Literally change your entire life.
Yeah.
You don't recover from that sometimes. It happens, and it's only in boxing if you're 0.5%. When you're talking about this elite level, you're not some great fighter fighting a ham and egger anymore. You're at an elite level. If you're 1% less, you're in trouble.
That's a problem.
That's a problem, and you end up going 12 rounds at a time and getting your head beat in more.
Brain cells don't regenerate.
They don't.
No.
So now this brings Jermain to 25-0-1, one draw. Both guys felt they won the fight. They both thought they won, as most draws seem to be. Winky Wright was so pissed he left the ring immediately and didn't even do the HBO interview that they have to do in the ring afterwards.
Shit.
Guys get up from being knocked out cold.
Right.
One eye is still going one direction. They're drooling out of the other side of their mouth, and they still do those fucking interviews.
They go, where am I?
They go, so let me ask you about the fourth round. When you were ducking in, the guy's like, huh? Mom? Are you my mother? Like, I don't know what's happening. Fucking, and they're like, let me put a microphone in your face at the worst time for you. Let's have a chat.
You're bleeding. Can we have
Your brain is burning and on fire and bleeding. And let's have a chat.
And I've got cerebral questions to ask.
let me ask you about your strategy in the fourth round.
I want to ask you shit you shouldn't be able to remember right now.
Anyway, even if normally, but especially now. So December 9th, 2006 at the Alltel Arena, again in Little Rock, he fights Kasim the Dream Uma, who is from Uganda.
Yeah.
So he's fighting every
he's fighting the world.
Strange African country he can get his hands on. He'll cull somebody from there and beat the shit out of them. He's a 29-11-1 career fighter, so not bad.
The last time he lost, as of right now, was when he lost to fucking Borat.
His trainer's kid. Oh no, Borat. Borat, yeah, in the Olympics.
Borat's the last time he lost a fight.
He must hate Borat so much right now. Fuck,
because that shit is out.
So mad. Yeah, right now, Ollie G is cooking right now. Borat's popular. This fight goes all 12 again. Oh, this is not good, man. This is not great. This is 2 years. He's had 4 12-round fights, all against great fighters. This is brutal, man. Jermain wins a unanimous decision, but it takes a lot of abuse. 26-0-1. May 19th, again, 2007, FedEx Forum in Memphis, he fights Corey Next Generation Spinks, and he is called that because Leon Spinks is his father, who Leon Spinks is a great fighter from the 70s, who I believe beat Muhammad Ali.
You're not junior, so how about no?
Next Generation.
No, that's a Pepsi fucking slogan.
Yeah, no shit.
No, that's a Star Trek thing. Stop it.
He's not a bad fighter, too. No. He's 39-8 career fighter, which isn't too shabby. This fight, guess shocker, all 12 rounds again.
Good God.
Dude, this is not good.
No.
This is just bad for a person's fucking brain. This is... you're looking at this going, dude, please stop. Please. Line up a couple tomato cans to knock out quickly, for the love of Christ.
We know some shit today that you probably should have changed this path for sure.
I would say here. 27-0-1 right now, and
they probably knew that shit then, right?
Fuck yeah, they knew.
They had to
shit.
know, right?
Yeah, they did.
CTE's been known for way more years than we know.
We've done the things where the studies were out in the early 90s about that. People knew about that. They covered it up. Remember the hockey player post-check? Where they had the studies saying what it did, and they literally told him, don't worry about it. You're fine. Right. Yeah, just get your bell rung. It's no big deal. The guy didn't remember where he was, and they were like, give it 10 minutes. You'll be fine, and then get back out on the ice.
Crazy.
They just silver-haired, middle-aged assholes. They just get out there and make me money, motherfucker. Right. If you don't remember where you live after the game, that's your problem. We'll get you a car, drive you home, as long as you come back tomorrow and let us beat the shit out of your brain a little more.
Do you think there's problems with this? Nick Bonicotti's on TV every week talking about football. You'll be all right.
People are all right. Who cares? Now, September 29, 2007, at the Boardwalk Hotel in Atlantic City, he fights Kelly the Ghost Pavlik, who I assume that's just because he's white. He's a big white guy.
Okay.
Kelly the Ghost Pavlik, who is a 40-2 career fighter.
Holy fuck.
Bad dude, Kelly Pavlik. He's nasty. Taylor is the big-time favorite in this, obviously.
Really?
He's
he's undefeated.
He's undefeated. Yeah. He's undisputed. He's the fucking man. He's beat Bernard Hopkins, Winky Wright. He's a bad dude. He knocks down Pavlik in the second round, and it looks like Taylor's just, this is going to be a cakewalk. He's going to manhandle him. It might go 12, but he's going to paste him the whole time.
Right.
But instead, the whole thing, Pavlik turns it around and starts to really press on Taylor, and it's a weird thing. And by the 7th round, it's all Pavlik.
Really,
Taylor doesn't look like the same guy. He ends up hurting Taylor. Taylor ends up falling down, and the referee stops the fight in the 7th round.
TKO.
It's TKO for Pavlik.
Okay.
So he was beating his ass for 6 rounds, and then out of nowhere, this guy came out in the 7th and just flipped the script on him
somehow,
and the fight got stopped on him, and he went from being Bill Clinton's best friend, the undisputed greatest guy in the world.
Clinton's like, new phone, who dis?
Loser. Fucking just total loser. All the endorsements stopped.
Wow.
You just lost to a white guy.
No doubt.
Shit is fucking bad for you.
Jesus.
So, 2
Somebody
minutes.
in his corner must have said, he's doing this. You can for sure knock him out.
It's just a different, it's super, he must have, maybe that's it. They must have saw something, an opening. 2 minutes and 14 seconds of round 7. It's a TKO. He loses the undisputed title. This only loses a couple of belts here because it's one of those where he lost like 2 of the belts and he had to. This broke up the whole undisputed thing here. He's now 27-1-1. February 16th, 2008, he's right back at it again at the MGM Grand, fighting Kelly Pavlik again, looking for another war.
He's pulling that Bernard shit.
He's pulling that Bernard shit, and this fight goes all 12 rounds, and it's a war again. I mean, it's a war. These guys are just brutally beating each other. Jermain loses this by unanimous decision this time after the whole thing. So
he found his match.
This Pavlik, he can't find an opening on Pavlik, and he's 27-2-1 now. And this is like the arc of these fighters. Great. They hit their peak, fight all these great fighters, have these long fights that wear them out, and then they start tick, and they start ticking down, and now they'll fight the upcomers like Kelly Pavlik, who will come up and beat him now, and they'll say, the last fight, he lost the last 5 fights of his career, and this is fight number 4 or whatever. Just like we do with the other guys in the beginning.
Sure.
It's all cyclical with these boxers, with each other. So he's 27-2-1. November 15th, 2008, at the Memorial Gymnasium in Nashville.
Oh, no.
Shit done changed.
That's not the MGM.
That is not the MGM. That is far from Madison Square Garden. And he is not fighting Bernard Hopkins.
Something called Gymnasium.
Memorial Gymnasium. He is fighting Jeff Left Hook Lacey.
Oh, no.
That's who he's fighting. Who's got a 27-6 career record, but he's not a he's a non-linker.
He's got a nickname that's an actual fucking swing.
Actual punch that he throws. That's worse than Dinty-Moore. Right. That's the worst. That's like being, I'm James Drive to Work Petrogallo. Right. That's what I do. That's Jimmy Make Some Dinner Westman. That's him right there. It's so stupid.
This is fucked up.
These names are great. Jeff Left Hook Lacey. This fight goes all 12 again. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Stop it, please, Jermain. Fuck, man. He wins, though. Jermain wins by unanimous decision. Okay. He better beat Left Hook Lacey there.
Just watch out for that left hook.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
He's like the 5th guy you fight in Tyson's Punch-Out. Left Hook Lacey's a little tougher than Piston Honda, but Soda Popinski would fuck him up. You know what I mean? Ridiculous.
But he gives you a real good clue of what his special move is.
Yeah, he's gonna tell.
His goddamn name.
That's it. Yeah, and he does like a big thing where he like winds up a big left hook, and that's when you got to punch him in the stomach and then hit him left, right in the face like King Hippo back and forth. Sorry if you never played that game.
So
it's a very
ridiculous.
inside reference here.
Left hook.
So Jermain wins. He's 28-2-1. April 25th, 2009. He's back at the Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. This is for the WBC super middleweight title. Now he's been the last few fights he's gone up to super middleweight. The second Pavlik fight was a super middleweight fight.
Got it.
So he just goes up a few pounds. He fights Carl the Cobra Froch.
What?
Or Froch. This is a 33-2 career fighter who is 24-0 coming in.
Whoa.
So he's the Jermain Taylor now, as you can see. He's the undefeated up-and-comer fighting the guy who's got some shine taken off of him. Froch keeps a detailed diary of his whole career, this guy.
Really?
Which is really, it's kind of interesting because it's a guy from the very beginning going all the way up through being like a popular, famous fighter.
Lucky that he did that, though, because
he did.
There's probably a lot of fighters that have done that. It's just not an interesting book.
And he can actually spell and read and write, which is also the thing. And
that's
remember to keep fucking notes. He said in his diary about this, quote, I've been doing the same 6-mile run in Nottingham for the last 7 years, and I normally do it in 35 minutes, which is under 6 minutes a mile. Recently, I was shocked to break my best time, so I'm running faster and punching harder than I have ever done done before. I feel so strong, and mentally I'm more mature than when I turned pro 7 years ago. Jermain Taylor is in serious trouble.
6 miles under 6 minutes a mile. I can't do that.
That's impressive. Fuck no, I
No
dropped
way.
dead.
Yeah.
I'd be dead. They'd find me mile 3 dead on the sidewalk.
I'd be lucky to get a mile under 10 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do that.
That's brutal.
That's impressive.
And in this fight, Jermain comes out swinging. He comes out. He knocks Frock down early, hurts him in the third, knocks him down. But Frock ends up turning it around again, and this fight ends up going to the 12th round. Think about this. Frock eventually turned it around, and all the way to the 12th round, he ends up, the fight is stopped with 14 seconds left in the fight.
Oh, no.
2 minutes and 46 seconds of round 12. It's like Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez shit, basically, if you know that fight.
That's
where
a fucking heartbreaker.
Chavez was undefeated, and Taylor beat his fucking ass. He had him like 9 rounds to 2 on everybody's scorecards, and then with like 8 seconds left, they stopped the fight
for some shit.
Chavez had him in the corner and was beating Taylor, and Richard Steele, the ref, jumps in and waves it off.
Oh, that's fucked
Taylor's like, I fucking won. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I was
don't
just
do this.
He's like, because you could see the red light saying 10 seconds is left on the top of the round, on the top of the ring. So you could see Taylor was just like, weather this for 8 more seconds. I'm the fuck out of here. I win. And the guy stopped the fight. And he's like, no. It ruined Taylor's whole life, basically.
I would be furious.
God, that was a great fight. Anyway, moving on to this here. 14 seconds left, it gets stopped, but he did fight 12 whole rounds, minus 14 seconds of a war. This makes him 28-3-1. It's at this point Taylor signs on to participate in one of Showtime's boxing things. I guess he's done with HBO here. This is the Super 6 middleweight tournament. It's a tournament of middleweight fighters. This takes place in Berlin, Germany. This tournament on October 17th, 2009. He fights Arthur Abraham, who sounds like he's written several musicals. Arthur Abraham, children's books and musicals. Abraham is 30-0 coming into this fight.
Wowza.
He's a bad dude.
And his books have religious undertones.
They really do. They're very. Actually, the Huckabees gave them out on Jermain Taylor Day. They gave them out to the children. It was very, very nice of them to do. He's a 46-6 career fighter with 30-0 coming in. The final round. This is the luck he has. This fight goes 12 rounds. At 2 minutes and 54 seconds in the 12th round. That is 6 seconds left in the fight. Jermain's knocked out.
Oh, my God.
So that's 2 fights in a row where he goes all the way to the last fucking 15 seconds. Loses 2 fights in a row in the last 15 seconds of the fight.
Unbelievable.
Which is... that's like losing 2 football games on Hail Marys at the end of the game 2 weeks in a row. It'd be like horse shit.
How does that even
260-yard
happen?
fucking passes in a row? What are we doing here?
Didn't Aaron Rodgers do that in one
He
season?
did, I think, yeah. But not to the same team.
No.
He did it to... If he played the same team 2 weeks in a row and
he
did
got
it,
the
they'd have killed him.
Lions twice in a season.
Yeah, fucking not... Oh, my God. So now he is 28-4-1.
Yeah.
It's at this point they think there's something wrong with him physically, with his brain in particular. Lou DiBella resigns as his promoter because he is concerned with Taylor's health following this knockout. Taylor had been knocked out 2 previous times, and this wasn't great. Yeah. This was a bad knockout. He got knocked the fuck out, and it wasn't good for his brain. He said Taylor wanted to stay in the tournament after this, and DiBella refused to continue working with him because he was concerned with his brain.
Right.
He released a statement, Lou DiBella does, saying, quote, "It is with a heavy heart but strong conviction that I will recuse myself, and DiBella Entertainment is Jermain's promoter." He said, "It is out of genuine concern for him and his family that I am compelled to make this decision. Also, he can't make me any more money, and I don't want him to die in the ring and have me be blamed for it."
Right.
So now that he's made every dime that I can, and I've extracted him like a natural resource, I'm going to now discard him out into the abyss. Have a good one, asshole. But at the same time, he shouldn't be trying to get him to fight and make money off his brain damage.
Right.
So there's really nothing you could do if you're Lou DiBella at this point. You're an asshole either way.
Also, I don't want him to go make somebody else I want him to make somebody else a little bit of money.
Yeah, or at least
give
himself.
him the opportunity.
He's got a shitload of kids. You know, let this guy make some money. He suffers a bad concussion. It comes out in the fight, and he has brain bleeding after this fight.
Hemorrhaging.
He has some hemorrhaging in his brain. So this, he cannot get a license with this brain bleed. He can't get a boxing license anywhere.
He'll fucking dying.
Yeah, he has to quit boxing for a while now.
Sure.
There's nothing he can do. That was 2009. He takes 2 years off Has to take 2 years off of boxing to get his health situation before he can pass any kind of physical for this. 2011, he has his first little weird run-in with the law, and now it's going to come fast and furious after this now. Police are called when Taylor breaks the window of his mother's car. Not many details are known. There was no arrest.
Window or windshield?
It does not. That's what I mean. There's no police report. It's just known that there was a police report.
Got it.
It's been, shuffled in the back of it.
Glass was whole somewhere on the vehicle.
Somebody called the cops.
And it's broken.
In the end, nobody went to jail. That's how it worked here.
That's how we start.
That's how we start. 2011, he's granted a boxing license again.
Okay.
Because, that's going to be good for
Give
you.
it to that guy.
Why not? He's granted a license unanimously by the board, as a matter of fact. They have a Dr. Margaret Goodman, who is a fight doctor. She called the decision unconscionable, saying, quote, if the physicians and the commission had reviewed all of Jermain's performances, they would not have been able to come to this conclusion. She said, look at him. He's clearly, if you watch him too, he clearly deteriorated in the ring. And it's not, you can tell something's wrong with him. He's not the same guy.
Like
it's
just water on the brain.
Like
or
there's some he's got like his brain is fucking bleeding, something like that. But he comes back to boxing,
and some other parts in it are just now dark.
They're just not working right. They're a little dormant.
Lights aren't on there.
Yeah, lights are on. Nobody's home. Lights are off, and nobody's home. So December 30th, 2011 is his big comeback at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Yeah.
That's
which one
Casino
that is.
Resort. It's in Cabazon. It's the one with the dinosaurs from the Pee Wee Herman movie. Yes, it is. Absolutely. This is in the middle of nowhere desert if you're driving from Phoenix to LA and you go, God, this place is a shithole. They had a fight there. People paid money to gather there to watch this.
They thrive on truckers stopping and gambling.
That's what it is.
Ridiculous.
Trucker fucking needs. That's what this place lives on.
They have a prime rib advertised in
$7.95. $7.95. It's got to be awful, but I still want to eat it, kind of though. I still kind of want one.
Might give it a shot.
I still kind of want one.
See if it's medium rare.
You know what I mean? Just want to check it out. He fights Jesse Nicklau, who is a 27-8-3 career fighter. Jermain wins by TKO in round 8 at 36 seconds in. They set him up for a fight to win. This is you can beat this guy.
And they put Jesse back to work making that prime rib.
Yeah, then he went back into the sunglass hut for his shift. He relieved Erica. He does the evening shift.
Right.
She does the day. So this is now brings Jermain to 29-4-1 to April 25th, 2012 in Beau Rivage in Biloxi, Mississippi. That's the name of the casino. He fights Caleb Traux, Traux. Coutreau? I don't fucking know.
It sounds
It's
French.
one of those Carloa situations. I have no idea. He's 18-0-1 coming in, this guy.
He's from the Bayou. That's
he's
where
from the Bayou. Yes, he is. This fight goes all 10 rounds, so again, more wars. He went 8 in the last one still, so he's a lot of rounds. He wins by unanimous decision, Jermain does, bringing his record to 30 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. October 12th, 2012, Ameristar Casino Resort Spa in St. Charles, Missouri, where dreams come true.
You bet.
Holy shit. He fights Raul Jorge El Toro Munoz.
My Lord.
El Toro is his nickname. Raul Jorge Munoz is his name. He's a 23-22-1 fighter.
That's a lot of words.
It's a lot. Way too many words. And that's said very quickly in Spanish, too. It sounds just very funny. And that's a lot of stitching to put on a robe. That's all I know. This guy said, I'm 23-22-1 before I lose another fight and go 5. I'm over 500.
Fuck it. I'm gone.
When someone says, when he says, I'm a boxer, I was a boxer, and they go, how were you any good? He can go, lost one more than I lost. He can say that now. One more than I lost, which sounds real like humble.
Sounds
but he
impressive.
Barely one more than he lost.
If it weren't for that fucking draw.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that draw. Jermain knocks him out at 1 minute and 5 seconds of round 2. So he needed that draw, that tomato can. 31-4-1. Next fight's December 14th, 2013, which is a while. I mean, it's over a year later. Yeah. He fights at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio against Juan Carlos Candelo, who's a 32-14-4 career fighter. Jermain gets a TKO in round 7. 32-4-1 is his record now. There's a big piece about his wife that comes out May 2014 right after this, a piece about her writing kids' books. Says she went from teaching 3rd grade and her daughters inspired her to write the children's books, Figler, My Imaginary Friend, and she also wrote another book here. So she's writing all these children's books. they talk about in this article.
A book about an imaginary friend.
Their imaginary friend. They talk about in this article, it's just like, what a wholesome family this is. Just
it sure sounds like
a couple of athletes, an Olympian, great people, good guys. Erica talks about the family's favorite books, the whole family.
Of hers?
The whole family. Jermain curls up with the kids and reads them. He's all gentle. One is Neo. The one kid likes Wonder and the Dork Diary series, which a lot of kids like the Dork Diaries. The one likes Junie B. Jones and the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. Yeah, that's the kids like those. And the other one likes Don't Spill the Milk. And she also says, quote, "We all love Amelia Bedelia books and laugh out loud when we read them."
Yes.
I'm sure Jermain...
But I've never laughed out loud.
I'm sure Jermain sits there laughing.
Crisscross applesauce.
Just laughing. Yeah, crisscross applesauce with a juice box in his hand, just laughing it up, going, oh, this is the best.
Oh, that Amelia.
So we'll find out what he does, by the way. This is a night at the house. Yeah. She says Erica's... They talk about... This is Erica's favorite family night, okay? This is her description of it. Quote, "Kids are in the backyard swimming. We're grilling burgers and wings. I'm making baked beans and pasta salad and taking appetizers in and out for everyone. We're eating outside. The karaoke machine is going with some Beyonce songs. I'm singing. People joke and call me Beyonce." That's what she says.
Okay.
So she's just painting this picture of just this glorious home life.
Amazing summer day.
They're trading the mic back and forth, fucking singing karaoke while they eat good food and burgers and fucking pasta. This sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another night at their house.
All right.
You want to talk about a summer evening in Arkansas at their house? Let's go to
when that
August.
Pasta salad wasn't done quite right.
I think the mayonnaise turned on this pasta salad, my friend. August 26, 2014, police respond to a 911 call from Erica at about 7 p.m. The 911 call is her saying, quote, "We've had some intruders on our property."
Yeah.
That's what she says to the operator. Moments later, you can hear Jermain in the background say, quote, "I shot one of them. Better come and get him before I kill him."
Oh, my God.
That's what he's saying to the 911 operator through the background. So that is a far change from grilling burgers and karaoke and Beyonce at this point. What the fuck? This is literally a month difference between her ideal family night and this family
what's
night.
Your emergency? Yeah, this is, you may know me by Beyonce.
This is...
We got an intruder on the property. I shot him.
That's my blood name, Beyonce. We jumped her in, and we all call her Beyonce. She tags some shit right next to mine. You may heard of me, Beyonce. Beyonce. Oh my God! So it's an intruder, right? You're thinking somebody trying to break in his house. He shot him. Let's find out what really happened, because that is not what fucking happened at all. This is not an intruder. This is his. Let's talk here first. His cousin. Remember his cousin from the beginning?
Braylon or some shit like that.
There.
Hinton. That's it.
His cousin here. His cousin is one. He helps him out training, and his cousin was trying to get him into the gym. Jermain didn't show up that day. He was being fucking lazy, sitting at home, didn't feel like showing up when everybody showed up to train him.
He's got a headache.
His cousin, I'm sure he does. His cousin comes to his house to try to get him to come to the gym. Be like, come on, Jermain, put your shit on, let's go. So his cousin, at the, this is his father figure, or whatever the fuck, got everybody raising their hands, got him into the Bloods, the whole deal.
Right.
The cousin said he's worried about him and he wants him to train harder because he doesn't want to see him keep losing. He wants him to be a good fighter and, make money and all this. I guess Hinton kept calling Jermain and leaving him messages, and he never answered them.
Couldn't figure out how to work the phone anymore.
He lost it. He turned it upside down. He picked up the wrong side of it. He had a cell phone backwards against his ear. Why can't I hear you?
He answered his laptop.
Yeah, and he's like, this isn't working. Hinton said, quote, "I was like, man, when are you going to come in and train?" And Taylor would call him back and tell him, I'm coming. But then by 5 p.m., the gym closed, and Hinton waited there all day for him, asking him when he coming, and he never came.
That'll piss you off.
From the morning.
Yeah.
So he said, quote, "I didn't want to see him get knocked out again. I was worried about him."
Right.
So Hinton and Hinton's 19-year-old son drove over to Taylor's house, which at this point, he's got a fucking big house. He's got a big old giant house. You can
Where they
buy
barbecue.
Big barbecue. You can buy a really big house with good money in Arkansas.
Sure.
If you make a fuckload of money and want to live in Arkansas,
you can buy a county.
You can buy exactly. You can buy a Walmart Supercenter for yourself.
Shit, yeah.
And you wouldn't want it, but you could have it. So
and not pay anybody anything.
Yeah. So they get past the gate. There's a big gate in the front because every boxer has a gate.
Sure.
And at that point, there was a dog barking at him. And came out and barking at the cousin and Hinton's son. And at this point, Jermain steps out in a bathrobe. He walks outside wearing a bathrobe, which is some brain-damaged fighter shit with dogs. Like, he's turning the junkyard guy from Stand By Me. Like,
he's Rodney Dangerfield.
That's with a dog, with worse, and his dick's not hanging out. That's his dick was away, unlike Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield, in the end, though, that's why he wore that robe, is because he was fucking losing it.
Yeah, he was losing his mind. It's easier to put it on.
No fucking idea.
So Hinton said, "quote." I said, God damn it, you got to do this shit right. I'm tired of this bullshit, is what he tells Jermain. He's yelling at Jermain, what the fuck's wrong with you? Apparently, Jermain's children started laughing at their dad at that point, like making fun of him, like, oh, you got yelled at, because they're always getting yelled at, and now he's getting yelled at. So this makes him really fucking mad, Jermain. Hinton says, quote, he got pissed because his kids started laughing.
Right. He threw his apple juice down.
He has a real problem with kids getting, you'll see. He doesn't like, I feel like he got picked on as a kid and he hears kids' laughter and loses his fucking mind.
He had a stutter. Of course he was picked on.
That's what ends up happening. So I guess Jermain starts yelling at his cousin, quote, was I high? Was I high? Like, that's why I didn't not show up because I was high. That wasn't it. Like, I don't know what the difference is.
Nobody thinks you were, man.
That wasn't it. So I guess his cousin said no. And then Hinton said he challenges Jermain to a fight in the front yard.
Oh my God.
He says, we can fight this shit out right now.
Oh my God.
He says. So he's like, fuck that. You're going to talk shit? I'll whoop your ass in the front yard right now, which he won't whoop your ass.
He fought Bernard Hopkins,
yeah, and beat him twice.
Right. Don't do that.
Hinton's trying to be like, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. He's trying to do that old man shit there. So this Hinton then says, quote, instead of fighting me, he went to get the pistol.
Oh boy.
So this is a bad thing here.
Over not showing up to the gym.
Yeah, and he says this. Hinton says that's when Taylor, quote, popped off, is the way he put it. He says, quote, he comes out with a pistol, and I said, what the fuck? And he told me, N-word? Well, no need to say that.
We got it.
N-word? I'll kill you and your motherfucking son, is what he says. Hinton's son ran away.
Yeah, not me.
And Taylor gave chase as they both ran away and fired his .38 5 times at them.
Wow.
Hitting Hinton 5 fucking times with a .38.
He got him with all of them.
Hit him fucking 5 times.
My Christ.
Hinton says, quote, he hit me the first time and I was in shock. I was like, damn, this motherfucker shot me. He said, I was running to get away. Damn, this motherfucker shot me.
Pretty good quote.
What the fuck? I love that too. But he was shot and he laid there. Police came. They said that Taylor was, quote, very cooperative with investigators, very polite.
Yeah.
They described him as calm, and there was absolutely no difficulties with him at all. Well, no, he'd already
said, "Thanks for having me."
Thanks for having me. I'm Jermain Taylor. So. This is fucking nuts, man.
5 shots from a .38. That's what a .38 holds. He emptied a .38
into his cousin in the front yard because he didn't show up to the gym.
And then he went back to the phone and told the cops, come get him before I kill him.
Before I kill this
I'm going to reload.
Yeah. Unreal. That's what he was in there. He's in there getting more bullets just in case he crawled his way back.
Ridiculous.
The police statement here said, quote, Mr. Taylor's cousin and another individual came to his residence and there was some sort of altercation. At some point, Mr. Taylor retrieved a handgun and fired several rounds. His cousin was struck multiple times. The cousin is alive and in serious condition at an area hospital. He has pretty serious injuries. The other person was not struck, but Mr. Taylor had fired several rounds and missed at that guy too. So
he reloaded and then shot at the son.
And so he was working it. He said that he was very calm, no difficulties though. Obvious, Jesus Christ.
Firing at your kin like that.
Fuck, man. That's fucked up. Jesus. He was taken into custody and booked into the Pulaski County Regional Detention Facility and charged with first-degree domestic battery, because it's your family member at your house, I guess.
In Arkansas, attempted murder is first degree.
And aggravated assault.
Okay.
Which, that's not enough, I don't think. You tried to kill a motherfucker. That's a lot of rounds.
You told the police that's what you were going to do.
Yeah, Hinton was in serious condition at the hospital, the whole deal. I mean, he had to have several surgeries. Taylor appeared in a video for his initial court appearance. He entered a not guilty plea. He, like we said, the preliminary charges there. He's freed on $25,000 bond, and they set him off into the night. He didn't speak as he left the jail. There was reporters there, obviously, because he's Mr. Arkansas. He's the Arkansan of the year, for God's sake. The district judge also granted a defense request for Jermain to be able to travel out of state and train and fight, because he's got a fight coming up against a guy named Sam Solomon. Because if there's anything he needs, it's more blows to the head.
You're damn right.
Needs it. Now, this is just this is weeks after he made a deal to fight here. They're wondering if the fight's going to happen now.
Yeah.
They said, quote, ESPN had committed to carry the fight and was working toward a contractual agreement. We are now reviewing the situation. We'll make a decision once more details emerge. So now they're not even sure if they're going to have this fucking fight. Now, while they're waiting for trial, the IBF, a boxing federation here, is going to allow him to still challenge Sam Solomon for the middleweight title. They're like, it's all right. He's awaiting trial.
Going to make some money.
He's, what? He's maybe during if the trial was happening, we couldn't take a day off to box. But he's awaiting trial. He has nothing better to do in the meantime. What's he going to do? Write legal briefs? He's a fucking boxer with brain damage.
He's on vacation from trial, so he'll fight.
He's on vacation from himself. He's like, what about Bob? So, a few days.
What a great movie.
No, it's my fucking favorite movies.
Vacation from myself.
I got an idea. Why don't you remake it with someone who's not Bill Murray? That'll be a good idea. Stop making fucking comedy movies. Okay. Stop making anything with Bill. I hear all these Bill Murray movies going to be remade, and people say, you were an asshole and a misogynist if you didn't like the new Ghostbusters. No. And it's not their fault. No. It's not the funny women who are in the movie. That's not their fucking fault. The problem
is,
a
piece of shit good.
You're not Bill Murray. There's a certain chemistry that fucking Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis have together that you're never going to duplicate with any three people, because that's their vibe. And so you can't remake Bill Murray movies and go, why don't people like them? Why don't we remake The Jerk? I'm sure it'll be hilarious. Let's remake all the Steve Martin. It will never be. They made The Jerk 2. Did you know that? A Jerk sequel? There was a Jerk sequel in 1984 called The Jerk 2.
I'm not watching.
T-O-O.
No.
And it is not Steve Martin.
Who is it?
Some dingus fucking asshole comedic actor tries to play Steve Martin. And it's the worst piece of shit ever. So it doesn't matter who you have. It's not the original. So stop fucking doing it.
Remake magic.
No, that's the thing. Right. And when you have someone like Bill Murray, it might not even be a great movie. It's great because fucking Bill Murray makes it great. That's the thing. Right. Stripes isn't a well-written, wonderful movie, but it's got Bill Murray and John Candy and Judge Reinhold and all these amazing fucking people in it that you can't duplicate chemistry. Moving on.
Harold Ramis was a genius.
Fucking genius.
A genius.
Fucking genius.
I miss him.
So a few days later, Hinton, his cousin, says he doesn't want to press charges. He's like, I don't want him to be arrested. Shit. Well, he's like, come on now. We're all bloods here.
5 times.
We're all bloods here.
Who does he think he is, Tupac?
That's what I mean.
Jesus
I'll
Christ.
take care of this shit myself. He says they grew up close, and he wouldn't, and he doesn't want it. He doesn't want him to get arrested. He said, quote, it's hard, but knowing he's going to be all right, everything is much better, is what Hinton's brother said.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, whatever. This is great here. He said it really didn't matter what happened or what was did or said or how did it get this far. He's like, none of your fucking business. Yeah. This is some blood shit. Yeah. We'll handle it. Is basically what he said. He's in here. He even says about Hinton used to give his cousin used to give Jermain money all the time and shit like that. He says that Hinton remembered his cousin showing contrition and even offering financial support. This is once he's in the hospital. Jermain is now saying, let me help you. I'll give you money. Okay. I'm sorry I shot you.
Just don't press charges.
It comes out that Hinton outranks Jermain in the blood gang. that's the thing. He's a higher rank because he's like old school. He said, quote, he called me in the hospital saying, quote, "Cuz, can I ask for your forgiveness? I didn't want to kill you. I was just intimidated by you." He said that's what Jermain called him in the hospital and said. He asked him for forgiveness going, yo, blah, 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 basically. I was intimidated by you, and he called him cuz, which is some...
that's some gangster love.
Gangster shit, yeah. So, anyway, so he's arrested, anyway, for this whole thing, like we said.
Also, it's true. Like, he's his cousin, so...
yeah.
You know what I mean? He gets to call him
He
that
can
also.
call him cuz. That's true. That is true here. He was shot 5 times. 4 of the bullets did straight through and throughs and were gone. The 5th bullet was lodged in his pelvis and required a shitload of surgery.
Those ones are brutal.
It's bad. Yeah, it was really fucking bad. Not great at all here, the whole thing. They said at one point, Hinton's brother said, quote, "I talked to Jermain earlier. He is really sorry and remorseful, but it does not negate the fact that my brother is laying in the hospital. No, but we're all family. We'll work it out as a family." This is some weird fucking shit right here. Like, what? I've never shot a cousin.
No, I got no cousins that I could shoot and be like,
we'll work it out.
We'll work it out. I'll call you. Listen,
we'll work it out as a family. That's cool.
Memorial Day's coming up.
Okay.
I'll have a barbecue. You come over.
We'll get the karaoke machine. We'll put Beyonce on. Everything's gonna be fine.
We'll figure it out.
We'll go back to the way it used to be, man. We'll go back to the way it used to be.
We'll have a conversation, chop it up. Everything will be fine.
Oh man, no.
They're like, put his punk ass in jail.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hinton says he had several bullets in his hip, in his right leg. His hip was fractured. He says, quote, "I got 2 bullets in my right leg, right above my knee. I have to live with that for the rest of my life." Apparently after this, he had a hard time being able to work because he couldn't walk that well. Struggling to support his kids. He had a hip replacement surgery because it ended up the first surgeries didn't work. Quote, "He fractured my hip and I had to relearn how to walk again, man." That's what he said, which is fucked up, okay?
But we'll work it out together.
Yes. I would say so. Now, he has a fight coming up.
Yeah.
This is all this. Now he's going to have a fight, all right? Before the fight, 2 days before the fight, he releases a fucking Facebook video that is batshit.
Yeah.
It's cut together like a Vine, like 2 seconds of this, 2 seconds of that, just with the jump smash cuts.
Right.
It's just like a Vine video, but it's 20 seconds long. So it's he made it for Vine, but forgot how long it's supposed to be.
Forgot they're only 10 seconds.
He's like, shit, I'll just put it on Facebook. Fuck it. Forgot they were 6 seconds.
This has got to be 2 Vines? God damn it.
Shit, this would be fucking 4. It would take
were
to
they
get
6
this.
Seconds?
6
I thought they were
seconds.
10.
No, 6.
All right.
This is a video of himself. He's shirtless in the first scene. He's shirtless playing the drums. At first, he's got like a selfie cam like on his drums. It's right there, and he's shirtless playing the drums.
Fucking GoPro
at one point. Yeah, GoPro shirtless playing the drums. Then they cut to him doing some other shit. Then they cut to him wearing a cowboy hat and singing, shirtless again with a cowboy hat on, just singing some incomprehensible shit.
Yeah.
Then they cut to him holding a semi-automatic fucking machine gun in his hand out in his front yard and says, quote, "I'll never lose to another white boy again," and starts firing shots up into the fucking air like he's at like a Kazakhstani wedding. What the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? He's in the front yard with a machine gun. Said, "I'll never lose to another white boy again." Pop, 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 pop. You're like, what the fuck? Then in the end, that's not the crazy part. And then in the end of the video, he's running kind of like past, like he's got a camera out as he's running, and he says, "Fuck you. God bless you." And that's the end of the video. Fuck you. Pause. Like he paused like, "Oh, that's kind of mean. Wait, I'll soften it up. God bless you." And then he ended it. But that's how he did it. Like, fuck you. Wait, no, that was mean.
After I fired weapons into the air and said some racist shit.
It's fucking nuts.
God bless you.
He's had all his shit. He's shooting his family. He's fucking in the goddamn Jesus Christ. He makes this video beforehand, and he's fucking proud of it too. He posted it and he was like, "This is the shit right
That's
here.
the one.
This is the one." He's got the fight coming up. He's hanging out in his front yard. Maybe he's waiting for his cousin. He goes back inside. There's a knock at the door. He's like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Hinton showed up early.
Hinton's here again. He's got his pistol in his hand, but it's not Hinton. It is Dexter Manley, interior decorator from New York City, and he says, how is it you've come to arrive here? What is wrong? You now listen. I've been watching you. Been keeping an eye on you. Just watching because you're very good at what you do and you're doing your thing. But I've been watching that you're getting in fights. You shot your cousin. I'm sorry, you shot him in the leg several times. In the you have just been I'm going to say it. I'm going to be the first. You, sir, are white trash. You're white trash. You're from Arkansas. I'm sorry. You're from Arkansas. You're in your front yard firing off semi-automatic machine gun. That is white trash. You shot your cousin and then he forgive you? White trash. I'm sorry. Next thing you know, you'll marry his wife and everything will be forgiven. White trash. I'm done with all of you. Forget it. Your brain damaged. Whoosh. And he's gone. Poof.
Whoosh.
That was his wave. Yeah. He waved it gone. Whoosh. I'm done with you. And that meant that was it. Dexter Manley in a poof of glitter. They said purple glitter. He's out of there.
Unbelievable.
The guy, he comes and goes. I don't know. He's got his own schedule. I don't keep track of Dexter Manley. He makes an appointment, tells me when he's coming in, and I get the mic ready for him.
Give it to him. Give him his time.
You going to turn him away?
No,
not at all.
I don't know anything about the man.
No,
I don't presume anything.
Oh my God! So after this, his trainers and shit are trying to defend this video.
Really?
Like, how the fuck do we make this sound not crazy?
How do you?
Jesus Christ, man! They got this Pat Burns, who's his ex-trainer.
Yeah.
He says about the video, quote, "Everybody has their moments. I'm sure that in hindsight he might rephrase it or something like that, but he did lose to a couple of white boys, so he doesn't want to lose to another white boy. He said it. So what? Had I been next to him before he said it, I'd have said, you don't say things like that, period. In general, you just don't say things like that. It's not right. But most people will make those comments. There's a lot of people who will think it's a racist comment because I guarantee you that if a white boy jumped up and said, I'll never lose to another black fighter again, there'd be a lot of black people who would say that was racist. But people are going to think what they want to think, and they're just going to say what they want to say.
No. There'll be a lot of normal people, no matter what shade they are, saying, that's pretty racist, bro. Don't say that.
I was less concerned with the not losing to white boys again and more concerned with the semi-automatic machine gun fire into the air that I'm concerned with.
All reckless in a neighborhood.
And that's the other thing. And when you follow up a racially charged statement with gunfire, it kind of puts some stank on it, right? It's
throws
an exclamation,
a hate crime in it.
It's an exclamation point on top. It's not just, I don't want to lose to these damn white boys again. You're then saying what you will do if you do.
Right.
And you have a cousin that you nearly killed.
We believe that you'll follow up with gunfire.
That's right. So October 4th, 2014, he's finally having this goddamn fight. It's in Biloxi, Mississippi again. He's fighting for the IBF middleweight title. He fights Sam Solomon, whose nickname is King, of course, Sam King Solomon.
Right.
He's an Australian guy. He's a 45-14-1 career fighter.
I'm guessing not Aboriginal?
No, he's not at all. This fight goes the distance. It's a 12-rounder. That's the other thing, too. Like, he's not white, though. He's like Middle Eastern descent, but from Australia. So it makes no sense for him to say, I'm not losing to any white boys again because this guy's not white.
Okay.
That didn't come up, though. Okay. This fight goes all 12 again.
God damn it.
And it's a war, too. Jermain ends up winning the unanimous decision, bringing him to 33-4-1. And that is his boxing career because he's got other problems now. January of 2015, he is at a Martin Luther King Jr. parade in Little Rock. Okay. This is a peaceful time, Jimmy. Yeah. This is the whole
reflect.
The whole parade is about peace and nonviolence,
prosperity together,
togetherness. Right. Yeah, the whole thing. So there's a woman here named Toya Smith.
Yeah.
She's a 40-year-old woman. She's there with her children. She has a 1, a 3, and a 5-year-old children, and her husband Thelton Smith. They're all enjoying the Martin Luther King Day Jr. festivities.
Sure.
Very wholesome activities here. They're having a good time.
And then gunfire erupts.
Well, they're having it, right? And then machine gun fire falls from the sky out of nowhere.
And hit all of them.
It hit everybody. 5 shots, 1 for each of them. I've got 2 guns, 1 for each of you. So apparently they run into Jermain Taylor, and he gets his boxing. He has his belts with him. He's like hanging out, taking pictures with everybody, and he says that he wants to get a photo with their little kid who's like 5 years old with the belt. He thinks, I don't know, it look cool on his Facebook page or something. This Toya Smith says that they had never met Taylor before. They didn't know him, and it was pretty clear that he'd been drinking. Like they said,
they had no idea who the guy was.
They knew of him, but they never met him before, and it was obvious he'd been drinking. And they were like, oh, boy, here we go.
Hey, little guy, put this belt on.
Yeah, it's so weird. So
he's burping in their face.
This is fucking crazy. So what ends up happening is she said he bent down to give my son the belt, and he almost fell over because he was drunk and dropped the belt, and he thought my baby dropped his belt.
Oh, my God.
So he gets pissed off.
Yeah.
So Felton Smith, the father, says Jermain dropped his own belt. He said about the kid, quote, he was 40 pounds and he actually held that belt. He never dropped it, about the little kid.
Yeah.
Let's find out how this started, and then we'll find out how it ends, okay? Felton Smith is a big fan of Taylor, but never met him before. They were hanging out. He says about him, quote, I admired him as a boxer. So he asked Taylor for an autograph. He didn't have a pen or a picture, so Smith took out his iPad or his tablet there, and was like doing a recording here and take a picture with my kids and all that. He said that his 5-year-old son handled one of the belts, that everything was fine. While this was going on, by the way, the 3-year-old daughter was playing with Jermain's kids over there. The little kids are playing together. The two, Jermain and the father here, went to the car to listen to one of the father's rap tracks. The father's a rapper. He has a track called Kool-Aid that they listen to.
Boy.
He goes by the rap name Scooby-Doo, which is not original and pretty
clever.
bad.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo making a Kool-Aid song. So this is 2011.
He just loves corporate America, this guy.
He just loves 1987, this guy. He's got another track called Hulkamania that comes out later on. So they're listening to a rap album. Everything seems great. Everything seems fine. It's nearby to Jermain's gym here when this is all going on.
Yeah.
Apparently, after this, they get out of the car. Taylor thanked him for letting him hear the song.
Sure.
Said, thank you very much. Then he told, this Smith says about Taylor, quote, he told me, put it on right now. I said, thanks, Jermain, for letting me take you around to hear it. He said, okay, but I appreciate you. This was about the music. They were trying. He said, you're a rapper. I want to hear it. So in all of this, after all of this, somewhere in this, there's the belt incident, and the belt falls on the ground.
Okay.
After all this niceness, everyone's hanging out, everything is good. At this point, Jermain snaps.
Yeah.
He goes nuts. He thinks a small child has dropped a belt that he put in his hand that's bigger than the child. But they said he didn't. Now, Smith says, quote, next thing you know, there's a gun, and Taylor says, y'all can't leave, and I'm going to shoot your motherfucking car up. Okay, so that's the next step in this. Over a belt falling on the ground.
Okay.
So the Smiths, Toya, the woman, she freaks out. At this point, her quote is, quote, he put a gun up to my husband's temple. So now Jermain Taylor puts a fucking gun to this man's head over a belt falling down to his temple. I jumped in front of it, knocked the gun away from his head, and it went off up in the air.
Oh, my God.
He was going to shoot him, but I saw it. He was going to kill him. I had to hit the gun.
Oh, my God.
So this is fucking crazy. Then they said that
children.
In front of three children. It gets worse. Don't worry. They said that he was pointing the gun at the vehicle as they were trying to get away from the parade. She says, quote, he was pointing the gun at my kids, so I jumped in front of him again and said, please don't shoot my kids.
Oh, my
This is when Taylor fired several shots up into the air.
Jesus,
in a fucking
what is he doing?
Martin Luther King parade. What the fuck is wrong with you? He then flees the scene because he just shot a bunch of shit. Stupid part is there's witnesses, there's photos of him with the fucking kid, there's everybody saw him, there's pictures of it, there's fucking videos of him hanging out with them. It's ridiculous. He's charged with 5 felony counts of aggravated assault, 3 felony counts of child endangerment, and a misdemeanor for marijuana possession once they finally get him. A little weed on him. Throw that in there. He's taken to the Pulaski County Jail and released on $50,000 bond.
They put that man back out on the street.
They did. They tried to revoke his bond on his previous shooting his fucking cousin. This seems like it's along the same lines.
The man likes weapons.
It's so fucking silly here. What the fuck, man? He shot your cousin who tried to help you, and then you shot into the air and put a gun to a man's head who you were hanging out with, partying with a minute ago.
What
your kids are playing, and now you're pointing guns at children.
This is bananas.
Over a fucking belt. This is brain damage is what this is. This is a fucking dude with brain damage.
This is a lunatic.
This is now he's turned into a dangerous person here. He's charged with 5 counts of aggravated assault and 3 counts of child endangerment in the end. That's a fuckload.
Yeah.
Afterwards, this is even worse here. The Smiths, that family, they end up saying they have to leave town. They say that there was a hit out on Felton, the father, and they were forced to flee Little Rock like refugees, leaving behind most of their belongings because this guy's a fucking blood.
Right.
And he says, quote, we had to hide out from them. This is what Toya, the wife, says, quote, we had to move a couple of times because we were getting messages from people saying they have a hit out on you. Family and friends would tell us they're offering this amount to find them. They're offering people money, their family and friends. She says the threats never came from Taylor directly, but they weren't taking any chances.
Yeah.
They were having family members go, hey, there's people offering me money to tell them where you are so they could kill you. It's fucking nuts, man. So after the parade, too, Felton ended up crashing the car on the way out of the parade.
Trying to get away.
He crashed the car. His kids are all fucked up from having guns pointed at him. It's a very traumatic thing. Toya says, quote, my 2-year-old daughter's hair has fallen out. Her hair won't even grow back. Maybe it will grow back someday.
Over the stress?
From the stress of this.
Wow.
She says that when the family went to the Dollar General store, the kids gravitated to the toy gun section. My daughter came out screaming from seeing the gun, and she said she didn't know it was fake, so she was scared of toy guns now. She said that they never got an apology from Taylor or anything. She says, quote, we're working class people. We don't have mansions or help from anybody, and no apologies from him. Just because we didn't lose limbs or our lives doesn't mean we're not hurting.
Yeah.
She says that her family will need years of counseling, and it'll be hard to get over what happened. Felton Smith said, quote, he totally forgot I was a citizen. He wanted to put me in the ring with him. That day I became his opponent. Sounds like they're angling for a lawsuit. And rightfully so, because you're pulling fucking guns on toddlers, you asshole. You deserve to get fucking sued for that. Normally it's like, don't sue him.
Right.
Anybody deserves to get sued. It's this guy. Sue him into fucking insolvency, you dickhead. He's not a dickhead.
Right.
Jermaine Taylor's a dickhead. Felton Smith did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. So, I mean, he's a fucking menace now. Yeah. He's a menace. He went from being the pride of Little Rock and something that people could look up to now shooting his cousin.
Public enemy number 1.
Shooting his cousin and aiming guns at children, scaring the fuck out of everybody, acting like a maniac. His wife imagine his wife has to deal with this fucking. She's a nice person that writes kids' books, and she's a smart lady, and she has to deal with this. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy, but not nearly, not even close to nearly as bad as I feel for Jermain Taylor, an executive housekeeper at Holiday Inn. I really feel bad for him. The Savannah Historic District, formerly at the Four Points Sheridan Hotel over there in Savannah, Georgia. Jermain Taylor, executive recruiter in the greater New York City area for staffing and recruiting for Executive Alliance. Jermain Taylor, emergency medical technician at Atlantic Health System in the greater New York City area.
Jesus.
Jermain Taylor, director of operations at Claremont at Price Simeon Group. Education, the Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University, so Florida A&M, was the supervisor, all sorts of places.
Oh, man.
Jermain Taylor, anti-money laundering investigator at Capital One in the greater Chicago area. God damn it. Not fucking around. And finally, most of all, I feel bad for Jermain Taylor, professional athlete in the NBA Development League.
Oh, Jesus.
Poor guy. He's in the Orlando team there. Professional athlete.
A real fucking athlete.
Poor bastard, Jermain Taylor. You're going fucking awful, man.
So bad.
So January 21st, 2015, there is a bond revocation for his, obviously, for his the shooting, lunacy in general. They give him 24 hours to turn himself in. So what does he do?
Take off.
Check in with the family. Take off.
Yeah.
Nope. Starts making videos. Time to make a video. This is fucking amazing. He had 24 hours to turn himself in, and he ends up in a video in a bathtub. He is in the bath in this video, literally making a video while he's taking a bath. He has an apology. Let's do it in their own words. What do you say, Jimmy? In their own words. Quote, "I'm sorry if I let anybody down, hurt anybody, but I make mistakes too. The Martin Luther King parade, little kids didn't even have no candy. Y'all need to get it together. I had my little girl out there. Nobody had no candy. I think y'all need to do better with this parade. So y'all are disappointed in me. I'm disappointed in you too. That boy had no business fucking with us." Wait, scratch that part. But he doesn't scratch that part. Is that what he said? Yeah, end quote. He doesn't scratch that part. That's the end of the video. He tells everyone that he needs that. That's how he closes this fucking thing.
That little boy had no business fucking
with us. He's 5.
Scratch that part.
Scratch that part. Never mind. Just post it. I don't know how to edit shit, so fuck it. I did that Vine, but somebody
Take
did that
2,
shit
motherfucker.
Nope, that's it. When you're in the tub, you're a one-take Johnny at that point, my friend. No time.
Take 2. Nope. Jesus Christ.
Then he tells everyone to please do a better job with the MLK parade next year.
How about you do a better
don't bring
job?
guns there.
Don't come.
He said even if he isn't there to see it. Then he ends it at the very end. He says, quote, "Kiss my ass. All right, I love you, Arkansas. Champ, baby. Fuck them." And that's the end of the video.
God bless you.
None of those. Yeah, God bless you. God bless you. Fuck. Kiss my ass. All right, love you,
Champ,
Arkansas.
baby.
Champ, baby, with his fist up in the air, and then says, fuck them, and it's the end of it. Wow. Then, right after that, he posts a video in bed with some lady.
Okay. No.
Not Erica.
Okay.
Some fucking lady. They both say a bunch of shit I can't even understand. Literally, they're mumbling. They're drunk. I don't know if she's drunk, but he seems drunk or severely brain damaged. Doesn't sound like he used to. Then he introduces her as his new wife and says that he just asked her to marry him, to which she replies, duh, like, obviously. Then he repeatedly thanks God for sending him a real woman, which it's like, Erica's a real fucking woman.
Fantastic.
She's a badass woman, goddammit. Taylor's lawyer says about all this, quote, "Everybody is saying that this isn't the Jermain Taylor they knew. We're trying to figure out who the heck this is." So, I mean, they're all like, we don't even know who this fucking person is. He's turned into a different human being in 2 years. I don't know. Shitloads of blows to the skull will do that to you. January 28th, 2015, he's got his attorneys in court saying that his actions are out of character. The whole deal. Prosecutors are asking for his bail to be revoked. However, he is immediately sent, rather than having their bail revoked and sent to jail, he's sent for a physical and mental evaluation.
That's a good
at
call.
The hospital. Yeah.
He's a few years late. But...
That's a few. Yeah. Right. He's facing first-degree battery and first-degree terroristic threatening over the first shooting, which is with his cousin, and then he's charged with, we told you, the aggravated assault and endangering the welfare of a minor ×3. So he has undergoing a mental evaluation. February 6th, 2015, the IBF, International Boxing Federation, strips him of his belt because he can't defend it because he's in the loony bin,
a mess,
getting evaluated. So they have to vacate that title. His camp is still trying to be like, hold on, it's fine. We'll be back.
How crazy is that he's still a title holder at that moment?
Yeah, he's still a goddamn champion. That's the belt that the guy dropped. Was his real
February
fucking title
5th,
belt.
He owns a title.
February 10th, 2015, a psychiatrist testifies that in a hearing that he should receive psychiatric care and be monitored for substance abuse in lieu of incarceration. He says that an interim report says that he had impulse issues and a, quote, frat boy mentality, but had been cooperating with doctors and expressed a willingness to conquer his problems. They said that he should have no access to firearms and recommended that he be ordered to wear an electronic monitoring device on his ankle if he ever is released. He says, quote, if he can't control himself, he doesn't need to be out, which seems fucking obvious.
I don't think I realized until right now that frat boys are that fucking reckless.
That's this is a really aggressive frat boy behavior.
I mean,
this isn't drinking in the front yard. This is shooting in the front yard.
This isn't isn't ass beer bonging. This is way worse.
This is way fucking worse. So March 2015, his bond is revoked completely. He's to enter a rehabilitation program.
Butt chugging.
Butt chugging at the Oasis Renewal Center, where he'll be butt chugging repeatedly. Right. So March 13th, 2015, there's an altercation at the rehab facility where Taylor hit another resident who was found badly injured and had no recollection of what happened.
He's punching other Looney Bin characters.
That's what he's doing. Yeah. A witness reported hearing him yell, "Why do you keep fucking with me?" at another resident of the rehab facility. When the guy approached him with an open hand, trying to shake his hand, Taylor kicked the shit out of him. He slapped his hand away and then beat him severely about the head and face, where he was sent to the intensive care unit for his injuries.
Wow.
Yes, which is fucking insane here. He's going to be charged with second-degree battery, which is a Class D felony, punishable by up to 6 years in prison.
Oh,
he's already got problems here. Yeah. 2015, his cousin Hinton there and his son end up deciding to file a lawsuit against him.
It's about time.
So, hey, cuz. How about ponying up some of that dough, cuz?
We can't work this out together if you're going to be in the loony bin. So just, your money will do.
Sorry. July 16th, 2015, he goes to court for the assault at the rehab. He pleads innocent by reason of mental defect to the battery charge, which that's the first thing I actually agree with. I think he does have a fucking mental defect. He ends up going to court again, and he shifts his plea to one of innocence by reason of mental defect, like we said, rather than not guilty, which is a different deal here. The judge also formally requested a mental evaluation to cover his most recent case. Basically, like, we just look him all over and see what the fuck's wrong with him, because something is obviously wrong with him. They're suing him. Celebrity Net Worth said he's worth $100,000 net, but we all know how accurate those sites are, because they say I have $11 million, and I certainly fucking don't have.
They also said you had $100,000 when we started this shit.
Yeah, which I had negative God knows what, and now it's not much better. I got to be honest with you. Definitely don't have $11 million. I don't have $11,000.
The vast difference between $100,000 and $11 million, it's way.
I don't know what they
that.
thought we fucking did here. But
I don't know what Celebrity Net Worth thinks podcasts are worth.
Way more than they are.
They are idiots.
So December. Well, maybe if Audio Boom paid us our money, that's a start. It's nowhere near 11 million, but it'd be doing better than I am, you cocksuckers. So December 1st. 2015.
It's a lot closer.
No shit. Jermain pleads guilty in 3 separate cases. They're going to combine all of this shit. That's pleas for the shooting his cousin, for the Martin Luther King Day incident, the Class D battery of everything. He strikes a deal to it's more than a half dozen charges of the whole deal. Quote, this is from the district attorney, quote, "There was a change of plea. We are able to plea it to the court, which means the judge accepts the guilty plea and sends it off for sentencing." So that's what's going to happen here. Prosecutor said they reduced charges to second-degree battery in the cousin incident here. He's wondering if he can like have leeway to leave and train and go for fights and stuff. It's like, enough fighting with you.
It's over.
You're not fucking fighting anymore here. He takes the guilty plea after all this, and his cousin is now at court for him, the one that's suing him, and the one that he shot. And he said, quote, "We hugged it out, and I told him, I forgive you." Meanwhile, he's still suing him. Now. We'll talk about that.
I forgive you. Write the check.
Write the check. Right. His voicemail at this moment, if you called his voicemail at this very time, it still said, quote, "You've reached Jermain, 2-time middleweight champion of the world, about to be 3-time middweight champion of the world again." You can't be 3-time middleweight again. It would make you the 4th time at that point. You fucked it all up. You're a junior's junior is what you are. You just went in a junior rabbit hole of circular logic that's fucked up. Right after this, his attorneys say they want out. He can't pay them. He's a pain in the ass. Right. They file a thing.
They keep getting that voicemail.
Yeah, they're like, he's not. You're not, Jermain. They said, quote, "The attorney-client relationship has reached an impasse, and that we have very little or no contact with the defendant since last year, and the defendant has not paid the agreed-upon retainer for services." That's the real thing.
Yeah.
Now, May 20th is all sorts of sentencing here. He apologizes for his actions during the hearing. He's also for all these damn charges. He says, in their own words, quote, I made a lot of mistakes. I just want to apologize to my state, to my kids, to my cousin, and my family. I've made some mistakes, but I'm trying to come back.
To my state.
To my state. He's so into Arkansas. Yeah. He's Mr. Arkansas. The judge says, that's all nice and dandy. You, sir, may fuck off.
Yeah.
Gives him a 19-year sentence.
Holy shit.
And suspends it.
What?
Nothing. 19-year sentence.
He got
suspended.
a 19-year sentence.
Suspended.
Has there ever been a sentence
a lot
that
to suspend.
long?
That's a lot to fucking suspend. He won't have to go to prison as long as he stays out of trouble and submits to drug testing and performs 120 hours of community service. He'll be fine.
That's ridiculous.
It's insanity. June 23rd, 2017 is court for the gunshot with his cousin here.
Right.
He doesn't show up at court. He has a representative saying that he doesn't have a lawyer, he doesn't have any money, and he's in Florida. Right. So he's not coming. He doesn't have any money anyway, so go fuck yourself is basically what they said. The judge rules for the victim, obviously, because he's like, well, no one else is here, so you. They'll later on say exactly what he owes. It's going to be like a sentencing for that instead. Kelly Pavlik has some shit to say about Jermain.
Really?
Here. He says that Taylor appeared to never be the same as far as his in-ring performance after the 2 meetings with him.
After Kelly beat the shit out of him?
And he says, quote, don't put that on me. He wasn't ever the same, but he didn't get no shit after I beat him. He didn't get into no shit after I beat him, but he did get knocked out by Frock and Abraham. It was an accumulation of things, probably. I just feel horrible because there was a kid that was the American dream and that was really nice and really humble. Then he made some money. Even his defeats, he made good money. And then all of a sudden he kind of goes to this thug life. It's like wiping your ass before you shit. It makes no sense. You're supposed to do that when you don't have anything. I don't know. It's not my spot to harp on it. We don't know what happened, what's behind it. I defended him on his situation with his cousin. What? Prior to the arrest, I truly did. From what I heard, he got in a fight and the cousins left and they threatened to come back and get him, and they came back with 2 more people to his house and he shot them. That's not what happened.
No.
I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong with that, he says. Don't see anything wrong with getting in a fight and the cousin that escalates to gunfire.
Also, Kelly, you just quoted Larry the Cable Guy
That's
with
the
your
other
wiping
thing.
before you. Stop it. Stop talking.
He says, quote,
you sound like an asshole.
Yeah, he does. This whole thing. Nobody is there to know, like, why are they coming back with a gun and a lot of people? There's always more shit behind it.
Yeah.
So he's defending him. July 18th, 2017 at 2:40 a.m., he's arrested again. Police are called to the house, called to his wife's house, Erica's house. Apparently they were fighting outside, inside and outside, and she sprayed him with pepper spray to try to get away from him. He tried to break her phone as she was calling 911.
That's illegal.
Which is highly illegal.
That's super illegal.
She then manages to get out of the house and run away after he's chasing her with pepper spray in her eyes down the street, threatening to kill her at the top of his lungs in the street. Not terrific here. Also, at one point, he caught up with her and he bit her on the arm several times and pushed her and shoved her to the ground, and then repeated his desire to kill her in the street, which is crazy.
His desire to seize her life.
Seize her life. Cops showed up. They found bite marks all over her. They said that's true. They said I guess they had an argument. It turned physical, and they wrestled on the floor. He bit her. He bit her on the arm and the face.
Oh my God.
Like I said, broke her phone, chased her, threatened to kill her. He's going to be charged with all sorts of shit for that, as you might imagine. He's also given a no contact order. And when the cops showed up, they said Taylor smelled of intoxicants very much in that case. He pleads not guilty to this domestic assault on August 28th. He enters the not guilty plea here. His trial date is scheduled for a little later on. He says and sums up his whole life here in their own words, quote, I'm trying my best to get my life together, to just stay out of trouble. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. Every day I make mistakes. No shit. I'm sorry to my state of Arkansas. All this negative press I've been getting. It seems like there's nothing positive about me. Here it is. I work every day. I've been trying to get on top of that for Arkansas.
Champ, baby.
It's champ, baby. Fuck him. He says he wants to get back in the ring again.
Which had no business fucking with us.
No business fucking with us. God damn it, little punk motherfucker.
He's such a dick.
Oh, he's a dick. He says he's working toward getting back into the ring again.
Yeah.
He says it's what I know, it's what I love, it's how I make my money, that's how I make my living. I haven't been in an arena. I've been sued by everybody for child support. I don't have it right now. He said he wants to get a good relationship to his kids, get closer to God, get back in the ring, and quote, win me another championship to bring back to Arkansas.
No.
You can keep it in whatever other fucking state you want. Stay away. Can't get enough of Jermain Taylor's crazy ass.
I cannot.
Something tells me his story is not over because it's really escalated.
Yeah. There's going to be murder.
There's going to be something crazy. At least more shootings, I'm sure. If you can't get enough, you can follow him on Twitter at Jermain. That is Jerman 811. He has not tweeted in about 4 years. He hasn't tweeted since June of 2014. He has 3,154 followers. He follows 180 people. He had 72 tweets and 8 likes only. So not very active. His last tweet was on June 9th, 2014, where he posted, quote, so much love, thanks to all my peoples. That was right before the insanity, right before everything fell apart.
Champ, baby.
Champ, baby. Fuck him. Kid had no business fucking with us. Fuck him. You can go to boxingwholesale.com and you can get a set of 32 Jermain Taylor fights on DVDs. 13 DVDs on sale from $260 all the way down to $19.95.
That's a deal.
Something tells me that front price is a little marked up, I would say.
It's a little heavy.
We're going to give it to you, I don't know, for about 3% of the price. What do you say? That's good enough? I don't think so. Amazon.com, Jermain Taylor autograph signed photo of him holding all 4 belts in the ring.
That's a good
in
one.
all of his glory, autographed and everything like that. Price is $57.50 with $12 shipping.
Hell
That's so fucking cool.
That's a deal.
It's a badass fucking picture too. It's pretty fucking badass. That is insanity. That is Jermain Taylor. That is cousin shooting, wife hitting, kid threatening,
wife biting,
kid threatening insanity, man. Holy
nut
shit.
Job.
Wow. Fucking A. That is an insane
story. Keep your kids
story.
out of boxing.
My God. Jesus Christ. You'd have been better off just in the Bloods. He's better off being a gangbanger. Worst that could happen is he's going to get shot by his cousin.
Truly.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
That was a mess.
I can't believe that story.
Yeah, I had no idea that story even existed. Like, I knew of him as a boxer, but I was like, wow, I didn't know all that shit happened. If you like that story, and if you were holy shitted champ, baby, that's what you can give us on iTunes. Just champ, baby. Fuck them. They won't let you say fuck them. But get on iTunes, give us 5 stars. It helps a lot. Really does keep the show going along. It's the iTunes funky algorithm.
Yeah.
If you want to be an even bigger hero, please go to patreon.com/CrimeInSports or head over to PayPal. Use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, to make a one-time donation. You can get a hold of the show very easily at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/CrimeInSports, CrimeInSports@gmail.com, Crime and Sports all over the world, damn it. Get a hold of us. We really, really enjoy interacting with you guys. Shutupandgivememurder.com for all your merchandise and all of your tickets to live shows and all of that good stuff. And now we have the best part of all. Why don't you hit us with that list of the finest people in the world, Jimmy? Who do we love this week?
Strap in, because here we go.
It's a long list, guys.
Really
we're late in the episode already. As you can see, it's going long. So we're just going to say the names out.
It's been 2 weeks, and you guys have been amazing.
You guys, we love you to death. We just don't want to make the show 3.5 hours long. So Jimmy's going to buzz through the names. We're going to say them all. We're not going to joke about individual names. Jimmy, hit us.
We have some executive producers this week. Megan Schmelzenbach.
Oh, thank you, Megan.
She's so fucking sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chrissy Ann Castaldi every goddamn week is amazing. Marsha Frazier, Carol Hayden, Ewa Tarowska. She's in New York. She's coming to the New York show.
Keep this show going.
And Melissa
really
McCormick. Thank you guys so much.
You make
Shannon Feltes, Natala Drew, Melissa Figueroa, Max Joshua, Victoria Jackman, Heather Chamness, Marissa Wells, again, thank you. Robert Ellis, Sensi Independent Consultant. I don't know who that is. Actually, I do, but I don't know where it's at. It's in here somewhere. I'll find it. Taffy Salon and Brow Bar. I don't know what that is, but go find it. Sarah Tost, Ashley Boxler, Laura Souter, Dana Bartram, Sierra Basie, Zachary Dubois, Jake LeBeer, he's in here every goddamn week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Michelle and Michael Kennedy, thank you so much. Mike says he's not the one that we want to punch, so thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Rost Olson donated, and he said he wants us to propose to his girlfriend using me. So, hey, Christy, marry me, damn it. Love always Rost with a T.
Marry that son of a bitch.
Marry Rost with a T. Okay?
Marry him.
Do that.
Yes, do that. You've been proposed to.
Right.
Now get happy. And
that's all you get.
Yay. We're getting you laid tonight,
Right.
Rost. Enjoy.
Lindsay Rader, Jennifer Lamb. Jennifer, you're terrific. Thanks. Keep going. Keep moving. You're doing great. Susan Olgis, Cassandra Meyer, Jesse Hartman, Morgan Peterson, Carolyn Hoffman, Kelly Snyder, Allison Keller, Lyft driver, Dan up in...
Dan Rogers.
Yeah,
Thank
Dan
you,
Rogers. He's terrific. Thanks, Dan.
We'll see him this weekend.
Right. You're damn right we will. I can't wait. Rabina Bryans, I think I said that. Dana Grayson, Stephen Manson, Stephen Manson, Jessica Sridhar, fucking nope. Sorry, Sridhar, I don't know. Terry Staudinger, Heath Mauger, Sherry Jones, Carrie Jeffrey up in Portland. That is Joe's girlfriend. Thank you so much, Carrie. Appreciate it. Jennifer Matthey, Nicola Bryan, Kate Myers, Veronica Kelly, Angela Banks Mason, Michael Bailey, Shane Rayleigh, K.A. Keat, Andrea Ramey. Thank you so much, Andrea. She did both PayPal and over at Patreon. Athena Patel. Thank you, Athena. We'll see you soon. Nicholas Lamb-Yorsky, Catherine Collado, Otelia Abraham, Christine Leischel, spelled like Lysol with an H, Oneida Paulo, Michelle Gerber, Caitlin Kennedy, Melissa Neufeld, Shane Hoxie, Sean Hoxie. Fuck. James Cook, he's in here every damn week. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Oak Tree Vintage. That's what that is. Andrea Peck, Ellery Hirsch, Vinay Ganga Darren, Ganga Daharan, you know who you are, Vinay. Jason Davis, Gina Golan, Carla Buckner, Jeanette Holm, Connie Young, Melissa Allen over there in L.A. Thank you so much for coming out to the show. She's also coming to Sacramento. Slime Warp Vintage. I've got a code for you guys that they want you guys to check some stuff out there. Follow me on Twitter. You'll find it there. Amy McNally, Mike and Michelle. I've already mentioned them. Kristen Quintiliana. That's it. Quintiliani. That's it. I think so. Fuck. Ingrid Stock, Julia Galtier, Jane Richards, Melissa Hoover, Rost Olson, I already mentioned him, Nicholas Nip, Nathan Deal, Laura Cole, Ashley Vo, Ted Cyrus every damn week. Thanks, Ted. The color chick, go find that. I think she colors hair or something. Crystal Gennaro, she's terrific. Thank you. Jewel Sherrington, Micah Shy, Kat Oyala over there. Yeah, Kat's terrific.
I love her snaps.
They're fantastic.
Because Sarah will go and she has the funniest. She's awesome. Good. Cool accent.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's very interesting. Derek Hillenberg, Jacob Schrag, Christina Womack, Katie Heisel, Joanne Mullins, Michelle Jolly, Tyler Pappenfuss, I don't know, Ruben Buffkin, Stephen Mace, Brooke Graining, Carolyn Royal, Dave Hartman, Maggie Lawrence, Josie Rizinger. Josie Rizinger. That's it. That's not a P. That's an R. Brenda K. Lunn. That's it. John Stradinger, Adam Redwine, Megan McMahon, Dineth Dayananda. I'm nice. Ruining it. Megan Muhisen? No, it's Mackenzie Muhisen. Tom Barry, Shelley Greenhalgh. Timothy Childress, Carol Feely, Des Arthur, Guyanne Reese, Jordan Barrett. She came out to San Diego. Thank you so much, Jordan. Bonnie Milne. Bonnie Milne, Barbara Quintero, Linda Seipert, Kevin Titelbaum, Margie Kunze. She's terrific. Thank you so much, Margie.
Thank you. She's been around since so long, supporting us. Thank you.
Marcus Rippentrope, Emilio Martinez, Under the Sea Fabrics, James Taggart, Tagalog, yes. Marsha Boris, 8-Ball Sports Show. I haven't listened to it. Go give it a shot. Melissa Roker, Linda Bone, Lena Fisher, Jude Kendall, Brianna White, Jason Fuller. Oh, Jason. God damn. Sorry, Jay.
Fuller, we love you, brother.
Ryan, Klaus von Carlton, Drachenschloss. What?
He's a vampire. That man's a vampire.
He is, for sure.
Definitely.
Cheryl Wright, Alicia Patrick, Casey Egan. That's one of the Egan sisters' boyfriend,
love those
right?
Egan sisters.
Gotta be one of the. No, it's EGAN.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No relation at all, Casey.
No, we love you too, but we like the Egan
appreciate
sisters a lot.
Trudy and Paige Jones. Those are the ones that had the Etsy thing. Trudy and Paige Jones. That's right. Tom Coraline Brooks, Ben Armstrong, Spirit Gal, Aaron Newman, Abby Cook, Helen Watson, Kate Watson, Jenny Bukowski. Yes. Ooh, that was so close to Bukaki. I'm so sorry, Jenny. Kimberly Ross, Jason Langowitz, Megan Smith. She's fantastic. She's in every week. Thank you, Meg.
Thank you.
Doug Hoff, Harvey Redfield, Leanne Asianides. I don't know what I just did. Abby Fitzgibbon, Tuxedo Common, Timothy Jenkins, Brett Del Simon, Del Simone, Talitha Hennessy, Sarah Gilbo. Oh, she's fantastic. Sarah Gilbo donates every week. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Lauren Demarath, Jenny Lowing, Robin Stoika. Robin Stoika, that's right. Joanne, with no last name. A HCK Group, Thomas Bellotti, Jessica Nicka, Mary Faust, she's fantastic. Matt Bottini, Alexis DeVries, Janice Hill, Lena Nem. Zach Dubois. Araya Strauss is in every week also. Thank you, Araya. Emily Stamper, Jennifer Loss, Alyssa Hillis, Cassie Rhodes, Chris Backey, Martin Edwards, Amanda Guillen, Melissa Figueroa, I already said her, I think, Jen Armstrong, Laura Blakesley, Katie Hines, Andrea Ramey, Kelly Schulte, that's it. Hey. Jenny L. Ruby, Jill Kressel, Ashley Doyle, Heather Westerfield. I think that's right. Rick Freeman, Emily.
Which means it's not.
Right. Emily Bartram, Sarah Broom, Desra Glover, Jessica Clark, J.B. Emery, Wynema Van Zant, Aaron Dalton, Katie Jo Jackson, Mercedes Ordonez, Heather Jean. She's the one that knits.
Oh, yeah, Heather Jean from Detroit. We met her in Detroit. She's awesome.
Brad Davis, Stephanie Tucci. And she threatened me and told me if I...
Stephanie
Tucci.
Oh.
How could you fuck that up? Aaron Kurd, Stephen Smith, Estee Langlis.
When's fucking dinner going to be ready? Let's go.
Get in there, Stephanie. Skylar Legg, Stanley Bunch, Leslie A.P. Logis, Brooke Wagner, Andrew Eastwood, Charlie Butel, Sarah Adams, Brent Seiler, Ruth.
Oh, Charlie's Craig's brother.
Stephenson. Oh, is he?
Yes. Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie. Good looking out, buddy.
Yeah, brother.
Libby Payat, Rebecca Steckler, Jessica Hartke, Tracy Pryor, Pamela Strauss. I got that one. Pamela. Bang. Take that.
Boom, pow.
Terry Staudinger, Chris, with no last name. Andrea Calkins is fantastic. Thank you, Andrea. James Pugsley, Kristen Merritt, Jessica Andrews, Catherine Coase, Den Hendrickson, Tanner Mix, Jessica Shannon, Carrie Aretta, Katie Dodd, Sean O'Neill, Andrew Rupp, Megan with no last name, Bryce Kerr, Kitty McClare, Colleen Fleming, Alyssa Carlucci, Bernadette Robinson, Caitlin Enk, Dana Bartram, Megan Shattuck. That's the one. Oh, okay. That's a different one. Never mind. She's been around for a while too.
Yeah, she's
Meg's
awesome.
Donated a bunch of times. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Kristen Reese, Megan Daly, Christopher Galarza, Matt Dill, Scott K. I love Tom Brady. That's the one that I don't want to say, but yeah, I am Jimmy Wisman, and I love Tom Brady. Fuck.
That's all right.
Whatever.
It's okay.
Crystal,
we'll do anything for money. It shows you how poor we are.
Brianna Kalinin, Tamana Von Pelt, Maura Matvey, yes. Leslie Chatham, Crystal L. Weiss, or Mekarick. Nope. Or Machik.
That sounded good.
Armachik. I'm going with that. Last one, home stretch. Haley Garena, Parker Adelson. Why did I say Scott?
I don't know.
What did I do? Sherelle Taylor. Rob Williams, Quinn Riley, Nicolette Kiseleff. That's a tough one. Elizabeth McDade, Chris Dosser, Jade Smith, Cale Washington, Otilia Abraham. That's what it is. Colin F. Spencer. Thanks, buddy. Lana Ring, Heather Beauchamp. Yes, Beauchamp. Heather Beauchamp, Stephanie Pirtle, Lindsay Jacobs, Troy Joseph Graham, Carrie Doberly, Tara Miller, Katie Mixner Croft, Charlotte Karuba, Kwan Yi Chan, and then Cynthia Lampum.
Thank you
Holy
so
shit.
much.
You guys are fucking amazing.
Everybody, that's amazing. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you, guys. Truly. We mean it. You keep us going and you keep us afloat. And because no matter what celebrity net worth says, we're not celebrities and we don't have $11 million. So thank you for
not worth anything.
Net worth is shit. Net worth is negative. So thank you guys. Champ, baby. Thank you guys for being there for us, for doing everything for us. You're honestly, you're the lifeblood of this whole thing, and we fucking can't do it without you. So thank you so much. And what if one of these fine people who we goddamn want to hug individually, one by one, wanted to get a hold of a nice person like you? How might they do that?
You can find me at Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks, on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I appreciate you guys being around, and the feedback is fucking incredible. So
we
thank
love
you
it, guys.
What about you?
You can get a hold of me at Jimmy P is Funny, or you can just copy and paste my name from the show description if you want to find me in other areas. Just do that.
There you go.
And we're going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
You can't stop us.
No.
Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week. Champ, baby.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey. Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put our, what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you know you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder, follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.